So they loosen the restrictions at the federal level.
That's right.
But they're still illegal in some places in the United States.
I guess most states they're not illegal anymore, but people just don't know about black currants because it's just not, because of this former ban, people just don't know about it.
What turned you on to this black currant thing?
I was just looking for prep one night and found this story, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting.
About an illegal
I'm also
berry.
just kind of, I'm dieting and whatnot, but I'm also still a foodie. I still like interesting vegetables and flavors and tastes, and I came across this and I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And the idea of something that I've never had a blackcurrant.
Me neither.
Yeah, and the idea of something that tastes kind of like a cross between a blackberry and a blueberry and a cranberry.
It looks like a blueberry.
It looks like a blueberry.
Pictures.
It tastes a little bit like a blueberry and a cranberry, and that sounds pretty good. I mean, I don't know, but it says they do have a stronger taste than the American palate is used to, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Quinn has been growing black currants in New York's Hudson Valley for. Wow.
Can't hear Hudson Valley and not think of Dave, right? Dave, our caller.
Why don't you put some black currants in my face? Anyway, Greg Quinn's been growing them for the last 13 years. Quinn, who first discovered the berry when running a restaurant in Germany's Bavaria region, was so sold on its merits that in 2003 he successfully lobbied lawmakers to overturn the state's ban on growing them.
Huh.
So I guess New York is now a place where you can get black currant. He now has 10,000 black currant bushes in his backyard and has made it his mission to reintroduce black currants to the American palate, believing that their unique taste and nutritional benefits deserve a second chance. Quinn's Current C branded black currant concentrates and juices have already proven popular in some restaurants and cocktail bars, but it can be a hard sell. When I started this thing in 2003, right after the law changed, Americans, for the most part, did not know what black currants were, he says. To confuse the matter, in the 1920s, there was a dried grape from Greece that was mistakenly called the currant. So not only did Americans not know what a currant was, they didn't know what a currant wasn't. To figure out how to grow the berries and products to make from them, Quinn toured farms across the world and scoured supermarkets for black currant flavored items.
Makes sense.
I would buy everything I could find made from black currants, he says. At one point, I was up to 183 different items. Some of those products included the shredded wheat cereal with black currant filling and a black currant top cheesecake, which were made by American companies who create them for international markets but don't offer them for sale domestically.
Huh.
Now, this is also interesting.
Just because people wouldn't know what it is, even not because it's illegal now, it's just not being sold domestically because nobody is demanding it in the United States.
Right. And this is interesting. There's a picture of like a group of Skittles here, and they actually, to me, these look different than... I mean, the purple color that's there is almost like a maroon. It looks
weird.
I mean, I don't know if that's just the image editing or whatnot, but it actually, to me, looks like it's different from the American Skittle, which is a very like indigo-y, bluish purple. And this is more of like a reddish, maroon purple.
Looking at the black currant selections on Google Shopping, you can get Chewits black currant candy. So they got black currant candy imported from Ireland for like $1.09. That's actually pretty affordable. Most of the rest of the stuff's pretty expensive. Black currant puree, $23.50.
Probably a lot of it's being imported. So you know.
Yeah. Then again, you're getting 2 pounds of it for $23, so maybe that's not so bad.
Yeah. So it goes on to say, Americans' lack of enthusiasm for the mighty black currants, which have 4 times the vitamin C of oranges, more potassium than bananas.
Wait a minute. One of these little berries has 4 times the vitamin C of an orange?
I think it's probably not one of the berries, but probably...
Or per ounce?
Yeah, per ounce, by weight, whatever. Yeah. More potassium than bananas and twice the antioxidants of blueberries.
It's a superfood.
Yeah, probably.
Might be.
It's puzzling to many European and other expats. Eastern European countries are absolutely rabid about currants, says Quinn. Black currant juice is as common there as orange juice is here.
Wow. Okay.
Expats are among Quinn's most eager customers. No one's blasé about it, he says. I get calls, emails all the time saying, I'm so happy I found you. I never knew about this.
Wow.
I had black currant back home. My grandmother grew them, and my mother baked pies. I get all these anecdotes and stories. By 2008, Current C products were being sold in 4,000 supermarkets nationwide, and the company, says Quinn, had just received a contract for its drinks to be sold in Starbucks. Then the global financial crisis hit, and things went south fast. Black currant juice, considered to be sort of a high-end
luxury,
item, was suddenly a risk. Stores withdrew orders, contracts were canceled, and Currency had to regroup. Quinn reinvented the company as an e-commerce business. After years of online-only sales, he is now gearing up to get his products back in brick-and-mortar stores. And then they're showing, I guess there's a brand called Ribena brand, black currant drink, which is huge in the Commonwealth, not so much in the U.S. Quinn is joined by a few other American farmers who believe in the black currant. Blue Fruit Farm in Minnesota, for example, has been growing the berry since 2010. Farm owners Joyce Ford and Jim Riddle travel to regional food shows armed with samples of black currant jam, hoping to lure foodies with a taste test.
Toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. The Ribena Concentrate is a juice drink mix that you can purchase for $8.39. I'm not sure where we're going with this. Is there like a future for the black currant in the United States?
I don't know.
That's what they're trying to hammer out here. It's Free Talk Live.
Every once in a while, you get information changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. Wow. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. You can buy them through expresscoin.com with a check or money order. There are other ways to get Bitcoin, but that's fast, safe, and easy. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveitpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Investment Rarities, a 43-year-old company, has created the best silver offer ever. Get a U.S. Silver Eagle, Canadian Maple Leaf, Austrian Philharmonic, OPM Pure Bar, and Silver Round. Have all 5 for $99 post-paid. You heard me right, 5 ounces of silver below cost. No credit card fees, free shipping. Just $99 and you'll have a great start on what it takes to survive even the worst economic storm. Act now and receive Jim Cook's exclusive paper explaining how it's possible to make a fortune in silver today. Don't miss this opportunity. Call 800-328-1860. Read how the above-ground supply of silver has dropped below even gold. The secret is being suppressed. The price could explode at any time. Call today at 800-328-1860. Get 5 ounces of silver for only $99. Find them on the web at investmentrarities.com or call 800-328-1860. Call now before it's too late. 800-328-1860.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can join us here. It's the foodie edition of Free Talk Live here. Johnson is regaling us with information about the black currant, a berry with which he's become somewhat obsessed within the last couple of weeks.
Well, it was illegal, and that's sort of where my interest lies, is because it's like
because of some sort of disease.
The whole, it's common everywhere else, but because of laws in the United States, the government just getting involved, its popularity was completely crushed here.
Right, and we've been looking at some of the blackcurrant products that you can order from the internet. They do have, looks like some blackcurrant mead someone's selling.
Interesting.
Blackcurrant jam, which is pretty pricey. You can get a 16-ounce jar of that for $34.88.
Wow! Eating that with your caviar.
What seems to be one of the more affordable products is that concentrate that you talked about, the Rabenna, I believe it is.
Okay.
Rabenna concentrate, which you can buy the concentrate and then turn that into a drink by mixing 4 parts water with it. So as far as shipping weight overseas, you're not shipping the anything but a concentrate. So you're saving some money on that. You can share your thoughts with us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. I want you to tell the rest of the story here in a moment, Johnson, but Rusty has been waiting patiently in Texas. Rusty, you're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Cody, and Johnson.
Yeah, howdy, guys. Not to hear all the conversation. I just wanted to kind of give a few thoughts about the debate last night. I don't know if you had an opportunity to watch it.
I think Cody watched the whole thing.
I just watched
I watched the first hour or so, but, kind of lost interest after that.
Yeah, just my initial takeaways. I think Trump took it the first half, and then Hillary held her own the second. I think Trump won overall. I wish Gary Johnson would have been there.
Yeah.
Trump purporting stop and frisk and all that type of stuff, and then supporting not allowing people. Well, both candidates supported no-fly list ban for gun purchases,
which is
I think
crazy.
Yeah, the terrorist watch list specifically was what they were talking about. I think that's different from the no-fly list, but nonetheless, it's the same concept.
Let me tell you, these are bad people. These are bad people. Let me tell you, tremendously terrible people. They're having these guns, and we need to take them away. Let me tell you.
I think Trump was right when he hit Hillary when she was like, "Well, you don't pay any taxes." And he's like, "Well, that's because I'm smart."
Yeah, I enjoyed him saying that. That
he
was
had some
fun.
pretty good answers.
He threw it right back in her face.
Well, yeah. What did he say? Like, if you don't like the laws that I'm taking advantage of, then change the laws.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did, and he kind of attacked her because she's spent 3 decades in public service, and now all of a sudden she has all these great ideas, but hasn't moved the ball forward on any of them.
That's a good point.
Really painted her as a career politician and someone who just says what they need to say to get elected.
Yep.
And I think Hillary kind of lost touch with maybe middle America when she's talking about some of these issues that are kind of just mainly East Coast, West Coast type deals like sexism, misogyny, things like that. I don't think that resonates too much. I could be wrong with maybe middle America. It doesn't seem like a huge issue. It seems like economy's a driving factor, at least in the way I think Americans are voting. I could be wrong. I think a third candidate president would have been great, either Joe Stein or Gary Johnson. Yeah,
I mean, the chance that Johnson or Stein are going to hit 15% in 5 polls, or at least average in those 5 polls at 15% between now and October 19th are pretty slim.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they raised it to that number, to make it basically impossible.
That's right. And there are 2 more of these official CPD debates. There are 2 more scheduled. I believe they said at the end of last night's debate. The next one's October 9th. The one after that, October 19th. So basically, every 10 or so days, they're going to have one of these debates. Rusty, anything else you want to share tonight?
Yeah, just my takeaway, gun to the head, if I had to choose between Hillary or Trump, I would probably go Trump now. But that's my takeaway. I'm voting for Gary Johnson, but if it was only those two choices, it would probably be Trump.
All right,
thanks so much.
Thanks for the call tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. But which candidate would be more likely to ban black currants? I don't know. Probably not. Hopefully neither.
I'm sure, with Rusty's support, it will build the greatest wall around all these terrible people so that they can't get these guns.
Trump is entertaining at the very least. I didn't mind watching because it was one of those things where I was just curious to see what was going to come out of his mouth next.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't watch the first hour, so I didn't see. I mean, we saw a little bit of it here in the studio because it was during the final hour of Free Talk Live, so we played some of it on the air and commented. But we didn't get to see much of it.
I did like how he nailed Hillary on a bunch of stuff, like the
emails.
Well, your thing, the emails.
Yeah, he got her good there.
And then the super predator thing. When he's like, you try to pretend that you're holier than thou. Right. It's like you're not a racist. So like when Hillary has done some things that are like really racist too. So.
Yeah, I saw the last half hour of it, and it kept my attention for the most part. I mean, I was kind of busy doing show archives at the same time, but I was listening to the audio from the debate.
Well, that's the point. It's a televised event. Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of people watch the debates the same reason why they're watching sporting events.
Yes, that's what this did come down to.
They want to see them go neck and neck.
A spectacle. That's what this was.
Yeah.
And Trump really dominated that debate moderator, too. Did either of you notice that? Where he kept, putting his hand up and saying, wait,
right. Yeah.
and then Trump would keep talking.
Right.
And
all he has to do is say, excuse me. And I've seen him do this multiple times in prior debates. He'll just say, excuse me, and continue.
Yep.
Right.
And then everybody else will just
shut up. They don't do anything
up.
about it.
Right.
The moderator did nothing about it. All he would say was just weekly he would say, it's been 2 minutes. And then Trump just keeps going and going and going. So
man certainly does have a very strong charisma.
Well, that's gonna play well for him, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, because people who want to be led, which is, it seems like a lot of Americans want to be led. They want to have somebody tell them what to do. That kind of personality resonates with the kind of person.
Have you guys read the Dilbert guy's take on Trump?
He says he thinks Trump is going to win.
Right. Have you read that?
Yeah, I read that article.
Okay.
I didn't read it on the air, but it was.
I almost feel like we should because it is really interesting. But I can finish up this quick thing. There's we're almost at the end of this black currant story.
All right, it's more on the foodie currants here.
So they go on to say a common sales pitch is to suggest suggestions for known flavors or suggest substitutions. I often mention how they're a great replacement for cranberry sauce, says Riddle. That's something that they can get their head around. America may not be switching the flavor of the purple Skittle anytime soon, but the black currant comeback tour is well underway. Blue Fruit Farm has sold berries to a distillery that makes sloe gin, as well as a brewery, ice cream maker, and the creators of pastries, jams, and jellies. Quinn's Currant Sea now supplies black currants to an increasing number of New York businesses, including the Michelin-starred Brooklyn restaurant Meadow Sweet, which serves a cocktail containing vodka, blackcurrant, rosemary, honey, and lemon. Interesting.
Sounds good.
In recognition of certain Hudson Valley farmers' persuasive blackcurrant rhetoric, the name of the drink is the Mighty Quinn.
Toll-free number tonight, if you want to join us, is 855-450-FREE. You can bring up anything you want, whether it's the ugly, awful politicians or this berry, which I don't really have an opinion about because I've never actually had it before. Where's our black currant pie, Johnson? You should have come prepared for this. Toll-free number tonight.
I may be ugly, but I have huge hands.
855-450-FREE. You can take control. Also, we'll talk about social media. Can you quit it and be happier? Some people are saying yes.
Worried about lead, fluoride, and other contaminants in your drinking water? Get a ProPure with the Pro 1G 2.0 cleanable reusable filter and remove up to 200 contaminants. Drink water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure products, including the new ProMax shower filter. There's a ProPure for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details or ProPureUSA.com. That's PROPURUSA.com.
In these uncertain times, it makes sense to have a sustainable backup method to cook food and boil water. If your current plan includes using a fuel-burning stove or cooking over an open fire, then there's a much better way. The Minuteman Rocket Stove is a biomass-burning cooking stove that only requires small quantities of sticks and twigs for fuel. The Minuteman stove is easy to use, smokeless, portable, powerful, and sustainable. For the finest in survival cooking stoves and fire starters made right here in the USA, go to MinutemanStove.com. That's MinutemanStove.com.
There is no such thing as attention span, according to Jerry Seinfeld, who figures that people have an infinite attention span if you are entertaining them. Hey, he's kept us from channel surfing for several decades, and now he's making more millions as a Las Vegas headliner. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important, especially if you're looking for work. So choose every single word as though it was the last word the person you're speaking to will hear. Otherwise, it might be. Avoid redundancies such as added bonus, advance warning, end result, prior history, or personal belongings. And avoid cliches like the plague. Just kidding. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Morsels, helping you create special moments and memories your family will cherish forever. Visit us at tollhouse.com. You may bake for birthdays and holidays, but why stop there? Sweeten up the rest of the year by designating monthly dessert days. Treat your family to one of their favorites or surprise them with something new. Either way, you'll create a tradition everyone will love. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live.
Welcome to the world's most powerful spells by High Priestess Catherine Oles. Now, this is kind of like a lot of those religions where you can just sort of just name yourself whatever you want to, right?
Right,
like
exactly.
Super Wizard.
Right there at the top. 1 year unconditional money back guarantee. So, like, if your spell fails over the course of the year, oh, the tumor came back.
Here are the terms. You must give the spell time to work. This time frame is 120 days from the date of purchase. That's
4 months.
A request made.
I don't even want the lover back after 4 months.
You must allow for time for a full energy exchange. Sometimes our spells take time. Must not be that powerful. Why can't I upgrade? I mean, she charges $97. Oh, wait, no.
There's a sale that ends tonight at midnight.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live, and you can dial toll-free. Our number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We have Skype as well, so join us there. Our Skype username is LRN.FM. Healthcare's all messed up in the United States. We need a healthcare system that focuses on health and not sickness. Now, sure, health insurance pays for treating sickness, but it gives you nothing for being healthy. And doesn't that incentivize illness rather than health? Well, there's a free market healthcare company that can give you freedom from health insurance, healthexcellenceselect.com. They give you a proactive health assessment daily and no charge 24-hour access to doctors. HIPAA has messed up medical records so much that one doctor doesn't know what the others are doing. How about a medical information card to give to EMS, first responders, the emergency room, or whatever medical professional you want? You can check them out right now at healthexcellenceselect.com. Any kind of doctor, traditional, integrative, chiropractic, acupuncture, and massage. You'll love the service and price. healthexcellenceselect.com. LRN.FM. As we go back to your phone calls and thoughts. Coming up, could quitting social media make you happier? Some young people are saying yes, and they are doing it. Let's go to Bryce, though, in Maryland first. You're on Free Talk Live, listening online via our app. Hey, Bryce.
Hi.
Hey.
I wanted to talk about, I just joined like a local Carroll County group. More so we've done a meeting or
Wait, what?
recently.
What kind of group? I'm sorry.
Like a Carroll County Facebook group, but we meet up.
Is
It's,
that where you live?
sponsored
Carroll
by-
County,
Yeah.
Maryland? Okay.
Yeah. It's part of the Maryland Libertarian Party. So they have done speeches so far. But they are really big in supporting Gary Johnson. I don't really quite want to support Gary as much as I want to support the message of liberty.
Sure. I understand. So what about it?
So I was basically to talk to them and how to their rebuttals towards Gary Johnson as to why we should be supporting him and that he represents that message. But he doesn't really captivate that. And I want to say we should do stuff for Ron Paul, but I mean he's not running.
Well, right. I mean, supporting Ron Paul in this election isn't going to do you any good. I mean, there's no
It's
point
like
in
when I wrote in Mary Ruart for the past 2 elections. It doesn't really make much sense, but I did it anyway.
I might write in Harambe this time around. I mean, at this point, there's almost nobody else worth voting for. But what you're saying here is you want to convince libertarians to stop supporting Gary Johnson. Is that right, Bryce?
Yeah, really. I mean, Gary Johnson doesn't really captivate the message, and he doesn't preach non-aggression principle. He's more of how to go around that and really go with the system, but doesn't talk about why we should be libertarians and about what makes us libertarians.
Right,
He
because
just
he's
kinda
not
doesn't captivate
really
it.
right because he's not really
So,
a libertarian.
Expressing him as a libertarian doesn't do the libertarian any justice.
Well, I think the problem with Gary Johnson is that he's not about the message like Ron Paul was about the message.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Gary
Ron
Johnson,
Paul.
Gary Johnson
is about himself.
And Ron Paul wasn't even about the message like Harry Brown was about the message.
I'm not too familiar with
I don't know. I mean, Harry Brown and Ron Paul was pretty darn principled. I mean, the dude was talking about legalizing heroin. He was, used the word voluntarist in interviews. Look, Bryce, here's my concern. I mean, while I agree with you and probably everyone in this room agrees with you that Gary Johnson isn't really a libertarian and ultimately isn't going to do, I don't think he's going to do generally good things for libertarianism. I mean, you could argue that Gary Johnson, just the fact that he exists and is getting some media attention, will likely result in some people Googling libertarian and actually learning what libertarianism is. So, there could be people who will meet, let's say 4 years down the road, who've moved to New Hampshire, who will say, hey, I found out about this because of the Gary Johnson campaign. I mean, that could happen. Now, will there be as many of them as found us through Ron Paul? Probably not. Will he be as effective as Ron Paul or Harry Brown or some of these others might have been? No. But I think that one of the things that you're just going to be wasting your time doing is trying to convince other libertarians to not support him. I mean, that just seems like your typical kind of libertarian infighting that is even, I would say, less productive. Because if they want to go out there and put out signs for Gary Johnson, if they want to go knock on doors for Gary Johnson and hand out flyers for Gary Johnson, then they're obviously really interested in him. They think that whatever it is he's doing is doing some good, and they want to help him. And I don't think it's productive for you to try to talk them out of it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see the angle. See, I like the signs that we do have that just say about libertarianism and not about Gary Johnson.
Well, what I'd say you should do is just, there's plenty of libertarians who are not happy with Gary Johnson. I would say find them and do whatever kind of outreach you think is going to be more effective. So if you've got just plain old libertarian signs that you want to put out there, or, putting propaganda in books at the library, or doing outreach at the local county fair or whatever. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways that you can spread the ideas of liberty to people without having to kind of hitch yourself to a politician and have to wait for the politician to do things before you can get out there. I would say just kind of create your own outreach project, whatever that would be, whether it's creating media or just going out and, flyering people in real life at a college or down Main Street or wherever. Just get out there and do something on your own and invite people to join you. It's always more, I think, productive to create your own thing and focus on that rather than trying to break down what other people are doing.
Yeah, see, the group had just started, and I feel like once this election burns out, I mean, we're pretty much coming to an end of this in November, so that the people that we have still remaining in the group, that we could then keep the same momentum that you would use for an election, but then to use that to promote the message of liberty, because I mean, these two candidates are pretty much going to show the reason why we need libertarianism.
I think probably
the more that they're elected, because I mean, let's be real, Gary Johnson's not going to be elected, but like the more that they're elected, the more they prove why we need libertarianism.
Go ahead, Cody. What were you going to say?
I think one way of going about it is literally let them do what they're going to do, because libertarians are pretty known for doing what they're going to do, and the more you try and change their mind, the more headstrong that they're going to get. So let them be in a Gary Johnson. Let them do that for this election.
Right. It's only going to be another month and a half.
I'm of the belief that there's a certain amount of disappointment that needs to reach everybody's life when they put too much energy into a presidential campaign. They get let down. And after a certain amount of elections that they've been let down, eventually they'll stop believing in the system. So really just let them be disappointed. That's all I can hope for is Gary Johnson people be disappointed. Yeah. Jill Stein and Bernie people all be disappointed, lose faith in the system, and then decide that maybe the best plan is to do something else.
Yeah, and again, it's only going to be another month. I mean, right now it's the end of September. The election's in the beginning of November. We're literally talking about 5 weeks. I mean, it's probably I believe it's probably exactly 5 weeks from tonight, because elections are on Tuesday generally. So then that'll be the end of Gary Johnson. He'll be completely off everybody's radar, and that'll be done. And people will be burned out, which is what you're talking about, Cody, where people are going to put a bunch of time and effort into promoting Gary Johnson, and then he's going to get, if he's lucky, he'll get 2%. That's my prediction. I by no means am an expert. But I would say that if Gary Johnson does better than he did last time, he's not going to do that much better. He's not going to do 4 or 9% or whatever it is some of these polls are showing.
I'll tell you what. Gary Johnson isn't going to get a private jet like I did.
Yeah. and I think either way, I don't really see him running again after this.
I don't know, man.
What I'll be looking forward to is Kokesh 2020.
So, Bryce, here's what else I'd recommend is just go ahead and start doing what you think should be done. Invite others to join you, but don't try to talk them out of doing what they want. Then, when Gary Johnson's over with, you can say, hey, if you're looking for something to do to spread liberty, here's what I've been doing for the last few weeks. Why don't you join me over here? And if it turns out nobody wants to join you and they just all want to sit around and wait until until the next presidential candidate comes around, then you should probably get the hell out of Maryland and move to New Hampshire, where there's activism going on every single week. There's always new, exciting projects to get involved with. Some of us are, for instance, traveling up to the State House tomorrow. There's going to be a cryptocurrency hearing up there at the Legislative Office building, so we'll be having our voices heard there. Thanks, Bryce, for your call tonight. Good luck. Appreciate it. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You can take control of the airwaves and bring up whatever's on your mind. This is Free Talk Live.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing everything more clearly again. We're now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now. 1-800-719-2949. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear everything more clearly again for free with a 100% free in-home trial, free shipping, and even free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-719-2949. That's 1-800-719-2949. 1-800-719-2949.
Think about this. Your community's aging water infrastructure systems are very likely to be contaminated with heavy metals like lead, disinfection chemicals like ammonia, chlorine and chloramines, and pharmaceuticals like statins, pain meds, and antidepressants. And no, water treatment plants are not equipped to filter these pharmaceutical toxins out. Protect your family's water supply with the trusted Big Berkey water filter. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show Big Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria, and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market, the gold standard in water purification, and our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually.
Whoa. Hey. Who do you think you are?
Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait on the counter. Now. Wait a minute.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me?
Because you're scared me.
What am I being detained for? You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. You may already know about the Free Talk Live audio-on-demand phone line at 641-793-9660. Did you know that not only can you listen to Free Talk Live via your phone, you can also leave a message and have it delivered to Free Talk Live's hosts? To leave us your thoughts, just dial 641-793-9660. That's 641-793-9660. Press 2 for Free Talk Live, and then hit 0 to leave your message.
Are you a political activist who does things that the government might not like? Then this free ebook may save your life. Rats is your guide to protecting yourself against snitches, informers, informants, agents provocateur, narcs, finks, and similar vermin. Rats was written by OG libertarian Claire Wolfe. Rats is a short book, easy to read, and available free in many formats. Download Rats free at rats-nosnitch.com. That's rats-nosnitch.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. You can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Coming up, we'll talk about consciousness and science. Johnson's got that one on deck. With you in studio tonight, it's Ian,
Cody,
and Johnson.
But first, social media. Is that a way, is it possible to actually leave social media and be happier? Well, young people are saying they're doing it, and yes, they are happier. We'll talk about that here in moments, and you can, of course, join us on the toll-free number at 855-450-FREE. We've got Skype as well. Skype username is LRN.FM. And I also want to let you know about SaveItPurse.com. That's a great way to save big time on your purchases from Amazon. If you're an Amazon shopper, why wouldn't you want to save, let's say, 15% on everything that you buy? Well, you can by using SaveItPurse.com. The catch is you have to have Bitcoin. So having Bitcoin allows you to save tremendously on your, as Trump might say, on your purchases at Amazon. Go and get started over at Save It Purse, SaveAtPurse.com, as we go to Skype, where Ricky is on the line in Pennsylvania. Go ahead, Ricky.
Ian, good evening.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Well, I wanted to kind of chime in a little bit on this this here debate that happened last night. Now, I heard a caller call in earlier. I would, And people are saying, a couple people saying Trump won. Now, I will say these are Trump supporters. Now, a couple points if I may make.
Obviously, the people who support a candidate are inclined to believe that their candidate won.
It gets even better. I'll tell you who also believes he won, the National Enquirer.
Okay.
Now, what's really interesting about this is, I watched it. Now, there's only a couple key points that I really had to point out about. And, it was really a landslide. And when it came down to is the be-all and end-all. And that was the final comment. Now, a couple no-nos. One, you don't call the moderator a liar. You also don't call him basically Hillary's bitch. That's what Trump did.
Did he say that?
That's a couple bad points right there. I mean, there's a few more, actually. You don't lie right on national television while Hillary's having a real
they're politicians.
counter.
Of course they lie. That's what they do.
Well, Hillary wasn't. I mean, Hillary wasn't lying about nothing.
You are so ridiculous. Come on. She's a politician. By definition, she tells lies. You don't get to be
in the room with a
You don't get to be the Democrat or Republican nominee for president without being a lying piece of garbage.
Well, here, let me try this one. Now, here's the final statement of the debate, and this is the most important one. Now, the question was very, very simple, and that was from Holt, and he said to Hillary went first. Now, Donald Trump had the last word. He can't complain about that. No, he did complain about a lot of things afterwards, including his microphone. He didn't do this for an hour and a half. He's fine. Of course, I've seen different things. I must have heard something different. Now, here was the final comment. Now, the question was to Hillary from Holt, and it was a straight question. Oh, you complained about those two, and they were even up for both of them. Now, what it came down to is, now, imagine this, he said to Hillary. Now, if you lose, would you, consider the winner, and would you basically consider that the will of the people, and would you, and what happened is, he asked her, and her answer was brilliant. It was very Jeffersonian. I'll tell you what it was. It was very simple. She said on the stage, she looked around and says, this is not about us. This is about them, meaning the people, and me listening. I got one better. Here, you want to hear a better?
No, I don't. I've heard enough. Thanks for the call, Ricky. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Oh, it's not about her. It's about the American people.
Didn't he just say that she wasn't a liar?
Well, of course.
I mean, of course that's a lie.
He's a believer.
Of course that's a lie.
He's a Hillary fan. Nothing she says could possibly be false.
It's not about us. It's about her, and it's about her being the first female president and continuing the Clinton line of bullcrap,
right?
Basically.
And showing how much of a tough man she is too, right? Like she's got to show how badass she is as a female president, so she's going to keep warring as much as her
so
predecessors.
Badass she can't even stand upright.
You know what's interesting to me is how the collectivism, right? The whole idea of collectivism has sunk so deeply into society that now the leaders have to be chosen based on collectivism.
What do you mean?
So collectivism being the idea of, basically grouping everything and basically giving things merit based on a particular group, right? So now the whole idea behind collectivism is often, government running everything because groups do things so well. We should centralize all power and everything should be run by groups and committees and bureaucrats. Well, that idea is so poisonous that now it's like, well, we've got to have a black president. Now we got to have a woman president. And then we're going to have a Latino president. Like, it's just based on, they don't have any actual merits. It's just that they're in that group.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like, that's why people are like, oh, it's so amazing.
Would Hillary be as exciting if she were a man saying the same things?
Right.
Not to some people, at least.
Yeah, not to a lot of people, I'm sure.
Toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. Personally, I'm tired of people picking leaders. I mean, these people are not our leaders. They should not be telling you how to live. They should not be telling you what to do. You shouldn't be looking to people like Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton to lead you anywhere. So, I mean, that's
it's an abdication of your own personal responsibility to vote, in my opinion, is to basically say that I'm looking for somebody else to save me, to
well, that's not necessarily why people
help my
vote.
life.
I mean, some people vote because they want to try to reduce the amount of damage that's being done. It's not because they're endorsing the person, but the thing is, the person believes it's an endorsement. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, whichever one of them ends up winning, is not going to say to themselves, oh, well, people chose me because they couldn't stomach the other person. No, they're going to say, they love me. They really love me. They love my ideas. They love everything about me.
The American people have given me a mandate.
Yeah.
It really comes down to two camps of people. Either you're picking the lesser of two evils or the lesser of four evils.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all it's coming down to.
Sadly, that's a true statement. So
Trump will be like, the American people have absolutely expressed what's very important that we build this wall.
Right. He'll think it's an endorsement of every single word that's ever come out of his mouth, even though it's usually going to just be people holding their nose and voting for someone who's not Clinton.
Right. I mean, how many people have said, with a gun to my head, I would choose so-and-so. Well, I mean...
With a gun to your head, would you pick one?
If you have to have the scenario where somebody's like literally holding a Glock to your face...
Could you please just pull the trigger instead?
Right. Because that is the other option, right? You either pick one or the other, or you take the bullet.
Or, maybe I don't want to live in a world where one of these two bozos are running the show.
So you can share your thoughts with me and the rest of the crew here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Social media, of course, last night was blowing up with all of this. I mean, on Twitter, you couldn't get away from it. I went just to see what was going on Twitter because Gary Johnson was supposed to be tweeting last night, and he was tweeting quite a bit. Apparently, he was at the Twitter home office in Manhattan.
Huh.
So tweeting from Twitter.
Right, okay.
And I guess Jill Stein had a live video feed as well. But I went to Twitter just to see...
Tweeting from a farm somewhere.
What, no, I think she was actually outside of Hofstra. She got escorted off the Hofstra campus, which is where the debate was scheduled to take place. So unlike Johnson, who was safely in the confines...
So she was pulling a Gary Cobb, or David Cobb.
Badnarik Cobb, yeah. So it was David Cobb and Michael Badnarik, the Green Party and Libertarian Party candidates in the year 2004.
I mean, they should do that really, the Greens and the Libertarians should just do that every single
Hell yeah, time. They should. Unfortunately, Gary Johnson, actually his campaign came out with a statement, and I don't have it in front of me. We read it last night, but it was like a 2-sentence shot at Jill Stein's campaign, basically saying that basically what they said was...
that should be your target, Jill Stein, okay.
Well, what they were saying was we're respectable, so we're not going to be doing any protest activities.
So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah. So the Libertarian Party is adopting Free State Project tactics.
Pretty much. Yeah. So, I mean, just yet another reason to not get behind and support Gary Johnson. The guy, if he went there with Jill Stein... Like, they held hands as they walked into Hofstra University and, handcuffed themselves together or something like that and did just something, to show solidarity on this.
I'd actually have some respect for him if he did something like that.
You know what would be a really good event to do with that kind of thing or whatever? It would be nice if the Libertarian and the Green Party did that with 20,000 supporters.
Well, there was talk.
As opposed to just sending in the two.
Right.
Just send in a whole bunch of people.
There was talk last night, apparently, about some Stein supporters doing acts of nonviolent civil disobedience.
Right.
I have not heard, but honestly, I haven't looked to see if anyone else was arrested at Hofstra. So I'll check for that and see if anybody stepped up. But you're right. To have a more active, dedicated group of people on that would be pretty newsworthy. And, Johnson could get free news coverage if he would just do something brave like that.
He wants to play it safe.
He'll climb a mountain. The dude's incredibly, courageous when it comes to physical activity. But, can't be putting ourselves in harm's way from the police. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. It's Free Talk Live. Free Talk Live has partnered with Amazon, the largest internet retailer. Imagine a department store category, and Amazon has it. Books, electronics, office products, furniture, jewelry, automotive, toys, clothing, sporting goods, and dozens of other categories. Now you can shop and support Free Talk Live by entering Amazon through our website. Go to shop.freetalklive.com, and Amazon will send us a portion of your purchase. You're going to do the shopping anyway, so remember to enter through our site at shop.freetalklive.com. That's shop.freetalklive.com. Here's a good idea. When you have a legal matter like creating your will or legally setting up a business with a corporation or LLC, you don't necessarily need a law firm. Use LegalZoom.com. At LegalZoom.com, you answer straightforward questions online, and they take care of the rest. They even review your answers for common mistakes and guarantee your satisfaction. Free Talk Live listeners, you'll get 10% off your order by typing in FTL in the referral box at purchase. Don't procrastinate with these important legal documents. LegalZoom.com.
This is your Robertson Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Tuesday, gold is $10 lower at $1,328 per ounce. Silver is down 24 cents at $19.26 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $603 US. Robertson Roberts has been helping clients buy and sell gold and silver for nearly 40 years. We can help you. Call us at 800-874-9760 or visit us online at rrbi.co.
DVD, books, music, instruments, periodicals, computers, software, electronics, photo, cell phone, office products, home and garden, bed and bath, furniture, kitchen, pet supplies, automotive, hardware, apparel, shoes, jewelry, grocery, healthcare, sports and outdoors, toys, games, used, and more. It's a department store at your fingertips. Shop.freetalklive.com. Get all your shopping done, get a great deal, and a portion of your purchase goes to benefit Free Talk Live when you enter Amazon via shop.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene, the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, September 27th, 2016. Silver is trading at $19.35 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,333 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $607. Antiwar.com reports a week after Syria's ceasefire collapsed and with fighting picking up around Aleppo, Russian government spokesman Dmitry Peskov downplayed the chances of a new ceasefire effort anytime soon, warning the situation is extremely complicated and that Russia is concerned that terror groups used the last ceasefire to regroup for new attacks. The ceasefire, which lasted for a week, included a humanitarian pause of strikes against the Nusra Front-held area around Aleppo and was meant to also give time for U.S.-backed moderates to distance themselves from Nusra forces. Instead, Peskov says the separation of the two sides never happened and that Nusra used that fact to continue strikes on military positions while using the fact that the ceasefire halted airstrikes to regroup and to replenish their arsenals along the front lines. The ceasefire was also intended to, after the first week, lead to joint U.S.-Russia operations against Nusra, which similarly never happened, and instead U.S. officials are condemning Russia for unilaterally striking Nusra targets in the absence of U.S. cooperation. For nearly 40 years, Robertson Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Robertson Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein was escorted off the premises of Hofstra University on Monday afternoon, hours before the start of the first debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Stein, who was ineligible to participate in the event because she did not meet the Commission on Presidential Debate's 15% polling threshold, boarded a shuttle bus meant for news media as it was headed to the New York venue. A reporter for USA Today spotted Stein and her press secretary and reported her presence on Twitter. Apparently, Hofstra University security and Nassau County Police saw the tweet and removed Stein and the aide because they were not credentialed media nor invited members of the audience. Stein spokeswoman Milazia Figueroa said the candidate was headed to the venue to participate in media interviews, which she was doing when law enforcement and campus security located her and told her to leave. Figueroa said Stein complied with the police orders and left the area. She also told USA Today, "We were there under legitimate pretenses." Figueroa said the campaign planned to bus in supporters to stage a protest to grant her admission into Monday night's debate, though she acknowledged it was unlikely to work. Monday's trip to Hofstra was not the first for Stein, who in 2012, again as the Green Party nominee, was arrested after entering the debate venue, also at Hofstra, and handcuffed herself to a chair in protest. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports nearly 60 U.S. investors who together manage more than $2 trillion in assets called on North Carolina to repeal a law they said is making it harder for companies in the state to hire top talent by limiting protections for people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. Under the law enacted in March, North Carolina is the only U.S. state to require that transgender people use bathrooms in publicly owned buildings that correspond with the sex listed on their birth certificate. The criticism by the money managers comes as the push for civil rights for transgender people has gained momentum in the United States. After North Carolina passed its controversial law, major sports organizations, entertainers, and companies pulled events or jobs from the state in protest. In their letter, the investors said the law was undermining the stable business climate needed for sound investment. The group, led by Trillium Asset Management and New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer, said they represent a wide swath of the investor community and $2.1 trillion in total assets under management. Matthew Patsky, Chief Executive Officer of Trillium, an investment management firm with an office in Durham, North Carolina, said state lawmakers should repeal the law before the economic damage becomes irreversible. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
After excitedly posting an image of a Lamborghini Rebenton to his Facebook account earlier this afternoon, 38-year-old little boy Nick Weber talked to Onion reporters about his passion for fast cars.
When I saw that car, I was like, whoa, it was so cool. I had to show it to all my friends. I like red cars the best, but only ones that are really, really fast. I can't wait to get one when I'm older. I'm going to get the fastest car in the whole world.
The Weber also frequently posts about his other interests, which include motorcycles, fighter jets, and Marvel superhero Iron Man. The nearly 40-year-old small child confirmed that sports cars are his favorite, and the picture of the bright yellow Lamborghini has already garnered 15 likes and 9 comments from other enthused middle-aged children who are friends with Weber on the social networking site.
My best friend Bradley, he sent me a picture of a blue convertible that's so awesome. It has these big wheels and even has a racing stripe on it.
After watching several online videos of fast cars and eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch, the home-owning little tyke went to his room to take a nap.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It is Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free, join the conversation, bring up anything that happens to be on your mind. Joining you in the studio tonight, it's Ian,
Cody,
and Johnson.
And we've got Skype. Our Skype username is LRN.FM, and you can take control of the airwaves. You can bring up anything that you want to discuss. We've had some people talking about the debates last night, of course, as though that they matter at all. Ultimately, whoever wins this election, we're going to lose because people who love freedom do not actually have a candidate in the race. Gary Johnson, not really a libertarian, so it's hard for some libertarians to get excited about him. I'm not. I'm debating whether or not I should vote for Harambe, Darrell W. Perry, or just not even bother with the national election. So we've got all that. Plus, I was wondering if anyone was arrested last night at the debates, and it turns out, yes, there were arrests. So not only was Jill Stein escorted off of the campus of the Hofstra University campus on Long Island, but there were more than 20 people arrested. So there had been discussion that some of the Jill Stein supporters were going to engage in acts of nonviolent civil disobedience in order to show their solidarity behind Jill and, in theory, Gary, had he bothered to show up and make an issue out of this.
That's so telling that he wasn't behind this.
He sued the CPD.
Telling.
In 2012, after his campaign, he filed a lawsuit against the Commission on Presidential Debates, which was thrown out of court. So he's willing to go through the legal channels, but not actually put his own body on the line and his freedom on the line to actually risk this.
And the thing is that like if you were actually go and protest and do some civil disobedience, he'd probably win over a decent amount of the anarchists who think he's a joke right now.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. In this case, Jill Stein's the only one who gets any kind of brownie points for what she did last night. Unfortunately, she's not a libertarian either. But police arrested, according to Newsday.com, more than 20 people near the Hofstra University campus where the presidential debate was held last night. 23 people, in fact, were charged with disorderly conduct and obstructing government administration on Earl Ovington Boulevard at 6:50 p.m., according to Nassau Police Detective Richard LeBrun. About 10 minutes earlier, one person was arrested for obstructing the roadway on Hempstead Turnpike. The person was trying to get over a barricade in the middle of the broad roadway, he said. It wasn't immediately clear if anyone was injured. The arrests occurred near this area that was set aside for demonstrators on a portion of the campus on the south side of the turnpike, which sounds to me like the free speech
the
zone.
Free speech zone. All the way away. Like, we're going to put you a couple, 5 miles away.
Yeah.
You can have free speech over there.
Right where no one will see you. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember they tried this with me at the Keene State College campus back in 2012. Joe Biden had come to campaign for Barack Obama during the re-election campaign, and he was at Keene State College. And, if Biden's there, Secret Service is there.
Right.
So they, even though Secret Service was on campus, they had said, oh, you're protesters, you can go over there. And I said, well, that's okay. I'll decline that invitation. And I continued doing whatever it was that I was doing wherever it was I wanted to. So I think a lot of the free speech zone stuff is a strong suggestion to people.
Right.
And, the idea being, oh, let's pen off this area and have police tell people that that's where they should go.
Right.
And then because people are, by their nature obedient, they'll do it.
They'd rather play it safe than flex their rights, basically.
Right, because, your average person isn't willing to get arrested for what they actually believe in. They might be willing to go hold a sign. I mean, most people aren't even willing to do anything beyond lift a finger for, the candidate and check a chat or punch a box or
share
whatever.
A meme, maybe.
Yeah, but, people who are – it's hard to find people who are willing to actually go out in public and do something. And of those people, it's very hard to find somebody who's willing to actually risk arrest. And the fact is, if you disobey, what an officer says to you, then there is that chance they could find a reason to arrest you. Even if it's not illegal to stay outside of the free speech zone, as it didn't seem to be in the Keene State College campus, they still may find some reason to put you in handcuffs. And so there always is that risk. And somebody who knows a thing or two about that is on the line with us right now. He's Derek J. Freeman, calling us from, I believe, the seacoast of New Hampshire. Hey, Derek.
Hey, guys. Remember that voters don't choose the election. We already know this from past elections. No matter what you think, when you watch these debates, oh, maybe Trump, oh, if a gun were to my head, maybe I would vote for Hillary. It doesn't matter. Your vote does not matter. If it did, they wouldn't let you vote. The establishment wants to stay in power. And so the only person really worth voting for, if you're thinking about doing that, Ian, or anyone else, is Vermin Supreme.
He already had my vote.
Well, he's the only one who we can really get a measurement. Like, if people don't participate in the system, they might be disenfranchised. They may say this isn't worth it. But if you vote for Vermin Supreme, you're awake. Like, you get that this is a joke, that politics is not the answer to move society forward, and you're saying so. So really, if people are out there and they're disappointed with Gary Johnson or the other candidates that they could choose, remember that you can vote for Vermin Supreme as a write-in candidate, and the more votes he gets, that's the better measure that we have that the system is falling apart and people know it. So let's just recognize that this system is going nowhere. It cannot be salvaged, and just get it over with. Vote for Vermin Supreme and show that you get that it's over.
I like that idea. It makes me even more proud that I have the Vermin Supreme bumper sticker on my car at the moment.
Me too.
But spread around. Let people know. Vermin Supreme, 2016.
So you're endorsing Vermin Supreme. That's your plan, Derek?
Oh, hardcore. Yeah, I want everyone to know. Like, I talked to a lot of politicos. I did go to the local polling place in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and I talked to some of the people working there about how I won't be voting in the general election, or I won't support one of the mainstream candidates. And they were so shocked and alarmed. Oh, man, but this is so big. This is so important. Can't have the other guy. It's like, what you're choosing doesn't matter. I wish you wouldn't get so invested in this. Like, I wish that people would pay more attention to cranberries or boysenberries or whatever it was was banned. Because that honestly makes more of an impact on your life than this election, to be completely honest. If you're watching it for entertainment, then good. Like, I got a little bit of entertainment out of it watching last night, but I didn't for a second believe that my vote would have any impact on what happens going forward.
Yep, that's all true.
It really does seem like we're getting close to the series finale of the debate show, and that's really all it is.
Hey, Derek, are you going to the cryptocurrency thing tomorrow?
No, I don't know what that is.
Well, the state government in New Hampshire is going to have what they call a study committee.
No. Oh, I know what this is. This is horrible. I will not participate in telling the government what cryptocurrencies are. That was the mistake in the first place. If people don't know what this is, like in New Hampshire, they came up with a new rule that makes cryptocurrencies a little more restricted than it is in other places. And there's like an exchange called Poloniex that won't do business with New Hampshire residents.
Right.
This is a mistake. And this is the same message that I'm trying to put out. Stop engaging with the system. It's not helping. In fact, it only hurts. So just stop participating with these people.
That's an interesting thing to say, because that's going to be a pretty divisive thing in the liberty movement. You're saying stop participating in the system. So you're saying people who are actually libertarians should not run for office?
No, they lack creativity. I mean, if you have no creativity and no ideas, go ahead, participate in government, run for office. But there's 1,000,001 other things you could be doing that actually move freedom forward. There's decentralized apps that people are building, like Cell 411. There's decentralized ride-sharing apps that people are building. There's Bitcoin evangelism.
Like Cell 411.
If you're voting and you don't talk to people about Bitcoin every day, what's wrong with you? I mean, you are missing a huge opportunity to actually impact the lives of the people around you.
Sure, but voting only takes 20 minutes once every year or whatever here in New Hampshire. I mean, that's not really activism to vote. You can do both, right? Like, you can talk about Bitcoin and you can go and vote. And also, don't you think there's value to having state representatives who actually understand what Bitcoin is and who can, vote against regulations of Bitcoin?
It didn't seem to help in the first place. A little bit of knowledge was
what happened?
dangerous.
What happened with the ordinance or law that you're talking about? It was actually apparently a free stater who put forward some sort of bill that was supposed to protect Bitcoin, and then it ended up being reversed somehow.
Yeah, it's like it backfired.
Yeah, and it backfired. Right. I mean, that's the political process for you. That's true. But I'd rather be in a state like New Hampshire, where we've actually got state representatives who use Bitcoin and who understand and appreciate it, than in a place like New York.
If you're drowning in
with
debt
us.
you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $5,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-959-5928. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-959-5928. That's 1-800-959-5928. 1-800-959-5928.
Something shocking just happened in a Coast Guard unit in San Diego. The old guys in the unit have turned the tables and are now destroying the young bucks in head-to-head fitness tests. How is this even possible? Turns out the old guys in this unit have been part of a special test group for a doctor-formulated fountain of youth drink called Patriot Power Greens. Patriot Power Greens has been so effective for many of the older soldiers that it's made their achy joints, stiff muscles, and lack of energy a thing of the past. Previously, this drink was only available to elite military units. But for a limited time, the creator of Patriot Power Greens has set aside a small number of free sample packs specifically for our conservative friends. But you must act fast. Due to the high demand from members of the Coast Guard, our supply is extremely limited right now. To claim your free samples of Patriot Power Greens, go to greens75.com. That's greens75.com. greens75.com.
Uncertainty has become the talking point when it comes to financial markets. One thing is becoming certain: safe haven assets. Hard assets are now becoming the choice of informed investors. The most recognized and valued hard asset is gold. The highest performing asset this year is gold. Trust gold to protect and grow your IRA or 401k. Central banks and billionaires are doing the same thing. Choose a more stable asset that has tremendous upside potential. As these uncertain times threaten the markets, your decision to reduce your exposure to these markets before further negative effects to your portfolio would be well timed. Call 1-800-GOLD-IRA to transfer your existing IRA into an actual physical gold and silver IRA. American Bullion is the pioneer of gold IRAs. They handle all the details for you. Call 1-800-GOLD-IRA to get prepared. Start protecting and growing your IRA and 401k before the next crash. American Bullion. 1-800-GOLD-IRA.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can dial on in toll-free and join us on the radio waves. The number's 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And enjoy all the features that we share with you on the website, including our webcam. You can watch, you can listen, and you can interact with other Free Talk Live listeners, all there over at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. As we continue here, Derek dropped off the line a few moments ago, but he was talking, and I wish he would have stuck around, but maybe he's a busy guy, because I thought he brought up a controversial discussion, one that many in the libertarian, voluntarist, anarchist circles have been disagreeing about. Is there value to working within the system? And when you look at the cryptocurrency scene here in New Hampshire, you were talking, Johnson, about a regulation that has made it difficult for people to do, or maybe it was Derek who was doing that.
Yeah.
Derek was talking about a regulation that's made it difficult for a business to do business in the cryptocurrency world, one of the exchanges, with people in New Hampshire. They sent out notices to their customers last week saying, if you're a New Hampshire customer, we're cutting you off.
Yeah, Poloniex.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I was one of their customers, so they were cutting me off. But everyone in New Hampshire will no longer be able to do business with this company. Now, New Hampshire, in a lot of ways, is one of the best places for Bitcoin. There's some of the biggest Bitcoin innovators are here. The Lamassu Bitcoin machine people, they built that machine here in New Hampshire. We have the only 3 Bitcoin vending machines in operation in basically all of New England. Boston just got 1 or 2, but it'd been a while since they'd had one. So New Hampshire, per capita, has more Bitcoin vending machines than any other New England state. Upstate New York has nothing. There's only New York City's the only place that actually has them, and now Boston with 2 of them. So, I mean, there's a lot going on here that's really good for Bitcoin. We've got a tremendous amount of businesses that are taking. Per capita, Keene has more Bitcoin-accepting businesses than San Francisco, which is supposed to be the #1 city for Bitcoin-accepting businesses. But on the other hand, you've got this regulation that was passed because of I believe, as a free state or state representative, somebody who's a liberty-loving, purportedly state representative, put forward some legislation that was supposed to protect Bitcoin from being regulated. Well, turns out that when you put legislation forward, it's out of your hands at that point.
Right.
So if some political committee that's reviewing it at the State House decides, oh, well, we'd rather have it say this, well, then they can just amend it And then that amendment basically reversed the intentions of the original legislation.
Right.
And the lady she didn't go in there expecting to have Bitcoin hurt by her legislation, but that's what happened. And so now there's going to be a hearing tomorrow at the State House about it's called a study committee. And average people will be able to speak to the state representatives who are there. There'll be some state reps, there'll be some state senators there, and I guess a representative of the governor, apparently, or something like that. And so they're going to be talking about whether or not to regulate Bitcoin further. So do you want to have a state? Do you want to be? Because Derek was saying, don't get involved in the political process.
Right.
Does that mean that you shouldn't go in any way, shape, or form and explain or, tell these people how you feel? Explain the ideas of freedom to them? Explain to them what the pro-liberty viewpoint would be on this and ask them to take that viewpoint? I mean, I understand. It's begging. I get that. You're begging your masters to leave you alone. In this case, the Bitcoin...
come on, Jimmy. Don't break my legs.
That's
I'll
what
pay
it is.
back,
Well, I mean, I know what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with asking Master to, hey,
pleading with the thugs not to hurt you.
Right, whip me a little bit less this time around, or don't whip that kid over there, or whatever, right? Like, you're trying to intercede in the violence that you know is going to happen. You're trying to do something to reduce that violence. And yes, Derek makes a good point that this lady's intentions were reversed through this political process.
But government's
and that sucks.
just there to protect you. It's, they're just keeping everyone safe.
Well, they'll say drug dealers, terrorists, Bitcoin terror, Bitcoin drug dealers. They'll say that, I'm sure.
That was one thing that I was wishing for Gary Johnson, actually, just to be at the debates, because of one thing that was said. I don't remember exactly what they were talking about, but it was something in regards to some kind of healthcare or charity or something like that during debates, and Hillary made the point. She's like, I can't believe that you would say something like, we can't have this stuff based in a profit motive. And like, my immediate thought was, what do you think the government is? You think the government doesn't have a profit motive? You're out of your mind. And I think a lot of liberals actually think that way. Like, oh, government's just going to be fair, and they're doing everything just to be all good and right, and they're protecting people. No, they're politicians, and they're greedy, and they're stealing from you.
Right. Government is...
You moron.
It's not even accurate to say profit for government, because, profit suggests that they've made an investment of their own money and have taken a risk in order to, possibly make some money.
It's a plunder motive.
Right. You're right. Plunder is definitely more.
It shouldn't have a profit motive. It should have a theft motive.
Right, because they're basically everything they take in is through theft, and so they're
we'll
not even
hide all
overhead.
the money that we pay our politicians in back channel deals, and we'll just put it on paperwork. And
so I don't think
10% will go to maybe the cause. And
I mean, I don't
90%.
disagree with Derek that Cell 411 is great technology. I've spent time and effort. Johnson, you designed a cool Cell 411 card.
Yep.
That
I've also been making copious amounts of suggestions behind the scenes since day one. I mean,
for the app,
yeah,
you mean?
Right.
Yeah, for Cell 411.
Like, I was just hammering Virgil on the whole, you need friend sharing.
Right.
Like, you need to make this so that people, can have groups and, communities,
and
because that's going to make the app blow up.
Yep.
And it did.
Yeah, and
in
he did,
way.
and it did. Yeah. So yeah, good suggestions there. So yeah, you can do both. You can help Cell 411 grow. You can do, create more decentralized networks. You can do outreach. You can do politics. Like, you can do more than one thing to achieve liberty. And I can understand why somebody's frustrated with the political system. It sucks. The fact that you could put forward a bill to protect Bitcoin that gets turned into attacking Bitcoin, that's really frustrating. But the political process is an ugly, terrible process that is a frustrating animal. But I still think it's worth putting effort into it.
There was like a really great bit that happened fairly recently by Saturday Night Live, I think it was.
Okay.
That actually did the thing where they made fun. You remember the old Schoolhouse Rock? Like, I'm just a bill. Well, Saturday Night Live did like a spoof on that.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually very funny. Just talking about the political process and like what happened.
Was it
what
recent?
actually happens to
Is
a
this
bill.
a recent one or like a classic?
Within the past year, I think.
Okay. So yeah, check that out. I guess if you get the chance.
Very funny.
I mean, does anybody agree on with Derek on this one? Do you want to take the side of get out of politics entirely and just?
I don't know, man. I'm like sort of like.
It's a great idea, but sometimes. Hopefully, this will be helpful. I would like to hope that it would be effective. But
Will it be helpful working in politics? Or
well, first of all, I think what's going on tomorrow isn't necessarily working inside the system.
Sure it is. You're going to the State House. If you're going, you'll be going to the State House. You'll be sitting in there for a boring political meeting and have the chance to speak to your masters, basically. There's nothing more inside the system than that.
I guess when I think that, I think like running for office or something. But okay, yeah, you can make the argument either way.
Anything, I think the definition of inside the system is anything that you're playing by the rules, whatever those rules are. Where
right.
You're going in, you're not breaking the way things are normally done. You're just kind of you're in the political process somehow. I just think that we're having more success here in New Hampshire than anyone in the libertarian movement is politically anywhere else.
Certainly the best place to be doing inside the system activism.
Right. We've actually got people who've been elected. And if we can double or triple their numbers, then there's almost no chance more regulations that'll be dangerous will get passed.
How confident are you in your food storage? If it was all you had to rely on, would it sustain your family? Hard times, good times, or any time, NuManna Storable Food is the proven superior choice. Learn for yourself what happened when one man ate only NuManna Storable Food for an entire month. Online at PowerPrepper.com. That's PowerPrepper.com. Experience the NuManna difference.
American-made food stores I love to eat. Yum!
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow. A new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new authors an avenue for publishing freedom-oriented material. FPP brings you daily news and commentary on the website fpp.cc, as well as a daily 5-minute newscast, FPP Radio News, and weekly news, views, and commentary in the FPP Freedom Minute and Peace, Love, Liberty Radio at fppradio.com, and the monthly newspaper, FPP News, at news.fpp.cc. Find FPP online at fpp.cc. That's fpp.cc, as in Creative Commons.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster. So be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com. On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. Coming up, social media. Is quitting social media actually making people happier? Some people are saying yes, and they're doing it. I'm a little jealous. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. With you tonight, it's Ian.
Cody.
And Johnson.
If you've got Bitcoin, I want you to download the official wallet of Free Talk Live. It's Jaxx. You can get it for free at jaxx.io. That's jaxx.io. There's also, you can get it from whatever app store you happen to use. There's no wallet like it. It allows you to hold Bitcoin, Ether, as well as Dash, and more currencies are on the horizon. There's Shapeshift integration with Jaxx that allows for frictionless, easy exchange between your currencies. So if you have Bitcoin, but you want to turn it into, let's say, some Dash, or vice versa, you can do that without even having to leave the app. Very, very handy. It was created by Anthony Diorio, who's the creator of CryptoKit. It's easy to back up your wallet and recover funds with Jaxx, and Jaxx is striving to give you command over your digital life. Coins, contracts, currencies, identity, and more. It's your digital command center in the palm of your hand. It's Jaxx, the official wallet of Free Talk Live, and it's cross-platform, so you can get Jaxx for your Windows, Linux, your Mac machine, as well as iOS and Android devices. Plus, there's even browser plugins, so go to jaxx.io and get started there. jaxx.io to your phone calls and thoughts. Tom is in Detroit, Michigan. You're on Free Talk Live. Hey, Tom.
Hey, long time no see or no talk.
Welcome, sir.
I've been you guys probably remember me. I haven't called in a while, and I'm a real supporter of Free State and the No State Project, Mark Stevens. And tonight, I found myself, and matter of fact, I even found a job. I'm looking for a new job. I just was laid off after 2 years of a solid employment.
Okay.
And I found a job about 50 miles away from you, Keene, which is very enticing. I'm a signer on your booth project.
Nice.
So it's actually inspiring me. But I called in tonight because on the NSP, the No State Project chat, I mean, it seems hopeless. Nobody can agree on anything. I presented a real-life problem that I have right now, a neighbor and a situation with a fence. They put up a fence next to our fence. The city rules, and without even the city rules, anytime you put a fence up to somebody else's fence, literally 4 inches away or 2 inches or 3, whatever, there's going to be growth in between, including trees, because we have trees that drop the seeds.
Okay.
And the rules are quite simple, that you need to leave a gap down there so you can cut them off. Well, 4 years or 5 years ago, our neighbor put up a fence without a permit. We didn't want to bother with that. We don't like the state. We don't want to,
sure.
But we made the mention that there's going to be a problem. There's going to be trees growing in there. What do we do? Because we can't get to it. We have a cyclone, a normal, typical chain link cyclone fence, and we can't cut those trees down when they grow. We can only cut the branches, and it doesn't matter. The stump keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And sure enough, here we are, 4 or 5 years later. The owner of the home, she was renting it out. She doesn't care. She's selling it now. And we have trees growing in and destroying our fence. And we've been trying everything we can to negotiate with this woman. And just all we need to do is literally cut off 4 inches off the bottom of her wood fence, make a nice clean job of it with the Sawzall, and then get in there and cut the trees. And it's just become a nightmare. And the No State guys, I thought for sure, after 4 years of being there, that we could come to some kind of agreement. And everybody has just got such bizarre ideas that I need to tear my fence down. And just, dude, I'm so depressed tonight. I mean, we're trying to make a difference. We're trying to keep up with the indoctrination camps of the school systems that are kicking out tens of thousands of people a year, and we can't even get 20 people to agree. I'm bummed out, dude. I'm really bummed out tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I don't know for sure what the political viewpoints are. The people who listen to the No State Project, you're referring to a different radio show hosted by Mark Stevens, who he's a libertarian, he's a voluntarist. But the people who subscribe to his theories about courts may or may not be. But regardless, even if you put 20 libertarians in a room, they're not going to agree with one another either. I mean, we've discovered that here in New Hampshire, where we've got thousands of people who are liberty-minded, and there's all kinds of subcultures amongst them. Some of them don't get along with one another. You'll have two friends who absolutely hate each other. I mean, it's just people, man. They just don't agree. I don't think that.
The irony is, I know how to cure this because I've already called anonymously to the city. And since they didn't pull a permit for the fence, they would have to tear it down, and I didn't want to do that. I tried to discuss this with the landlord through her maintenance guy because she won't even speak to us, and she owns 40 homes. And most landlords who rent homes don't want problems from the city.
Sure.
And I said, listen, I don't want to call the state. I don't want to deal. I hate the state. Let's just make this simple. But because she's selling the home, she doesn't, and because she's such an arrogant person, She doesn't want to listen to any logic.
Then why are you concerning yourself with it? I mean, I don't know what all the other people say about the solutions or whatever, but at that point, who cares?
The trees are ruining my home. The trees have
No. I'm talking about who cares about getting the state involved. Just wash your hands of it.
Well, I guess he says that his fence is being ruined by her.
No, but what I'm saying is the state is a reality, and if she's not willing to play ball and comply and work with you, then call the state. Who cares? She doesn't want to. If she doesn't want to participate outside the state.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That was the big argument tonight with the NSP fellas, because we are no state project. We don't want help from the government. We don't want to deal with the state.
But you're not getting help from the government. You're not getting help from. That's not getting help from the government. That's dealing with the situation with her. They're going to harm her. I mean, you're not actually getting help from them.
Well, they may end up harming you. Who knows?
Maybe.
You call them in, they'll find something wrong with your property.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's true.
Right, and that's like our stuff. I make sure everything's up to snuff. The lady that I live with, this is her house. She wants to call the state. She wanted to call the state the minute they erected that fence.
The state's going to show up anyway. She's selling her house. Doesn't matter. The state's going to show up. There's got to be
not necessarily.
Yeah, an inspection, right?
No, the state doesn't run inspections. Those are privately run.
Okay.
To a point, yes or no. And like I said, I contacted the city, and they told me with the regulations, it is her problem to remove that because she erected a fence next to a fence. And I tried everything to avoid this.
That's frustrating.
That's
frustrating.
And it's killing me that the guys that I counted on for the last 4 years, nobody can agree. I've got these idiots telling me to take my own fence down. I don't think so. Not my fence. It's her fence. It's been there for 20 years. We're not tearing our fence down. We followed the rule.
Good luck with this, Tom. I don't know what to tell you, man. People don't agree. That's sort of what makes life interesting. Thanks for the call tonight, man, and let us know how it goes. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE.
Right.
So, I mean, people just don't agree. I mean, here in the Liberty Movement, you just heard we had a disagreement with Derek J. just a moment ago.
Yep.
He doesn't think people should work within the system, but there's plenty of people working within the system, which is like, again, it comes back down to that conversation we were having with the Libertarian Party guy from Maryland earlier, who was, talking about trying to persuade people to stop supporting Johnson. Stop trying to persuade people to do the things you want them, or you don't want them to do, basically. Just let them go.
Concern yourself with the stuff that you are doing.
Right. Focus on your project, your idea. Try to attract people to it. I think it's okay to say, hey, come over here. There's this cool thing that I'm doing. And, let people know what's going on. Invite them. Inform them about what's happening. But, if they say, no, I'd rather do my project here, don't attack them because they'd rather do their project there. Let them do their project and then let them either succeed or fail with it. And if they fail enough, they might start looking at your option.
It's sort of the thing, there was something like that. I had a disagreement with someone here, and my, solution to that was, I'm not going to be involved in your thing. And that's all I did. Right. It's just like, you do it, whatever. That's your thing. Good luck. You know, just if you're not into something, just you don't have to be a part of it.
Yeah. Toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. You're more likely to find people that agree with you in a larger group. So if you're going to a group of only 20 people,
Yeah.
you know, it may be hard to find people who agree. But if you go to a group of 2,000, you might find 20 people that agree in the group of 2,000. So again, come to New Hampshire.
All right, listen up, because this is the most important thing you're going to hear all day. What if I said you could make money flipping houses without any cash, credit, or manual labor? And what if I said you could do it part-time from the comfort of your home? Sound unflippin' believable? Hi, I'm Preston Neely, and I'm going to prove it by sending you a free copy of my smash hit selling book, How to Get Rich in Real Estate. It sells online for $19.95, but I'm giving away free copies this week. To get one before they're gone, call 1-800-960-4295. I used to be so broke, I had my electricity shut off 9 times, but I figured out a simple way to make money flipping houses without even breaking a sweat. Now I'm living the good life, and so should you. Listen, if you're sick and tired of stressing about money, this book could change your life. Hands down, it's the fastest, easiest way to get started in real estate. Let me prove it. Call right now to find out how to get your free book. When they're gone, they're gone. Call 1-800-960-4295. 1-800-960-4295.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Investment Rarities, a 43-year-old company, has created the best silver offer ever. Get a U.S. Silver Eagle, Canadian Maple Leaf, Austrian Philharmonic, OPM Pure Bar, and Silver Round. Have all 5 for $99 post-paid. You heard me right, 5 ounces of silver below cost. No credit card fees, free shipping. Just $99 and you'll have a great start on what it takes to survive even the worst economic storm. Act now and receive Jim Cook's exclusive paper explaining how it's possible to make a fortune in silver today. Don't miss this opportunity. Call 800-328-1860. Read how the above-ground supply of silver has dropped below even gold. The secret is being suppressed. The price could explode at any time. Call today at 800-328-1860. Get 5 ounces of silver for only $99. Find them on the web at investmentrarities.com or call 800-328-1860. Call now before it's too late. 800-328-1860.
Every once in a while, you get information that's worth changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. I know this sounds unbelievable, but at my house, we saved as much as 45% off of a new item on Amazon. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveitpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com.
For years, LRN.FM has had a listen line that you can call and listen to LRN.FM anytime. Now we're taking the idea to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on-demand line. You can call 641-793-9660 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed, and you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long-distance fees may apply. Just dial 641-793-9660 and choose from the menu 641-793-9660.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Dial in toll free. Take control of the airwaves. Bring up whatever's on your mind. Our number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. So mass arrests last night at the debate outside of Hofstra University. 23 people were arrested. We can tell you more about that coming up. Plus, social media people, young people apparently are quitting and saying their life is better, that they're happier. We can get into that here in moments. With you in the Free Talk Live studio here tonight in Keene, New Hampshire, it's Ian,
Cody,
and Johnson.
Let's go to the phones to the fun. Dana is on the line, listening to K-Talks in Arizona. Hey, Dana. Hello, Dana. Dana going once. Do we have Dana in Arizona? Dana going twice. Maybe there's a technical difficulty. We'll put Dana back on hold. And perhaps he or she, not sure which. Oh, it says male Dana. Perhaps Dana will get back into a better cell phone signal or something. Let's try Ralph in the meantime in New Jersey.
Yeah, how are you?
Hey, Ralph.
Feeling very guilty tonight.
You beat him to the punch.
You see? Yeah. You see?
There's so much to be guilty over.
Now, Ralph.
You are definitely keeping it real now.
There you go. Keeping it real. All right, Ralph.
Okay.
What's up? What's on your mind tonight?
That being said, I would begin with the article of faith, the rules for radical as far as El Negro Animal Obama is. It's one with the black animal. It's one with Satan. And he definitely is one with the Islamic radical.
Okay, who's one with Satan? I missed that. You're saying Barack Obama?
He's a satanic Islamic radical, apparently.
And
Seems reasonable.
Know why? If I have to go through the rationale once again of why he is that way, it takes one to know one. Number one. And,
so you worship the father of lies and Allah?
Don't you have to kind of pick one?
Please. What?
Why guilty, please?
Yeah, generally.
So wait, but you said it takes one to know one. So I mean, you just said that. So
that means you're a Satanist. Is that right?
I'm talking about Obama now.
But you said it takes one to know one.
Right. You said Obama's a Satanist, and then that it takes one to know one. So that means that you're a Satanist.
It's not really what we call method to his madness, but madness. He put madness to his method.
Method to his madness. Madness to his method.
It's more like the reverse way, guys. Okay, madness to his method. Okay. But that being said, he is an anti-white, an anti-Semite, and an anti-Christ. I actually talked to Aaron Klein. You know who that man is, right?
Aaron Klein.
That's right. I actually talked to Aaron Klein over the weekend.
Now, this guy's like a talk show host, right? Aaron Klein.
Correct. He's a Jewish American. Mm-hmm. Most of the time you find him in Israel. Okay? He goes back and forth between this country and Israel. And I told him, it's beyond me to comprehend why Bibi Netanyahu would meet with an out-and-out anti-Semitic individual and an outright racist of the primitive kind like Obama. Okay? But that's all right.
Hey, Ralph, did you know that Ricky challenged you to an on-air duel, one of our listeners?
Yeah.
You did know that.
Who is that?
Ricky from Pennsylvania. He's one of the least coherent callers that we've had in a long time. But every now and then he has moments of lucidity, and he was able to express to us that he wanted to challenge you to some sort of a
debate.
Not just a debate, but some sort of on-air duel. And you actually hadn't called in for a few days. So he had accused you. He had accused you of being chicken.
Of being a racist.
Of being chicken, not racist. He accused you of being a chicken.
Is Rachel like Sarah in New Mexico? A female, a man, or a woman?
Oh, good question. Ricky could be a male or female name. That's true. In this case, it's a man.
But
so
let me address the issue of race, because that came up in the debate.
No.
You're not talking about the issue of race.
You've already addressed that enough times.
Ralph.
No, I have not actually.
Are you a listener of Radical Agenda? That's what I want to know. Is he a Radical Agenda listener? Have you ever heard of that show?
And that's one of the programming put out by LRN, correct?
No, it's not.
No,
actually.
no, it's not. No.
No. Christopher Cantwell is the host of Radical Agenda. He's a former Free Talk Live host, but we had to ban him for racism.
There are actually YouTube guys, believe it or not. That's how I know about the name Chris Cantwell, because of YouTube, okay? They're actually
Because of YouTube.
Of Chris Cantwell.
So here's what I'd like to do. I would like to put you on hold, Ralph, and have my board operator get your phone number, and then maybe we can actually set up this on-air duel or whatever it is between Ricky and Ralph.
It all depends what we would be talking about.
I don't know. All I know is Ricky challenged you to a duel.
Let me go forward to talking about.
He's okay. Okay, I know one of the things it would be about, because Ricky is a Hillary Clinton fan, and he knows you're a Trump fan, so it would basically be, you guys would sort of be Clinton-Trump associates.
All Ricky has to do is call, and then we can, conference call. We can conference.
Well, but he already called tonight, so I don't want to put Ricky on a second time.
Thursday, Ricky. Thursday. Wait for my call Thursday. How about that? Okay. On the issue of race. Okay?
All right.
Let me say this
All
about
right,
Hillary, Obama, and
since you agreed to the debate, you can say what you want. Then go ahead.
They cannot be holier than thou. Okay. They cannot be sanctimonious, given the racist history of the Democratic Party. In point of fact, Obama created David Duke. And the one who is behind the idea of Hillary in blackface are the Democrats themselves. Give me a break now. Give me a break.
Hillary in blackface? What?
Yeah, there's a cartoon on that, guys.
That picture was fake.
Google that.
That picture was fake. It was proven. It was known. It was fake.
Hey, Ralph, can we get you to upgrade to Skype finally? Because I got to give Ricky credit. Wait a minute. I got to give Ricky credit. He did upgrade his call quality, and he's on Skype. He's going to sound better than you.
Thursday, around 8 o'clock Thursday.
8 o'clock Eastern.
If you are a white guilty individual, you will debate about the issue of race. Are you coming from that point of view? I come from the Asian, conservative.
Ralph, do you have a smartphone? Do you have a smartphone?
By the way, guys, let me say
No. Hold on.
Do you
answer the question? Ralph, you got to answer the question. Ralph, you got to answer the question.
Do you have a smartphone?
It is an Android.
An Android,
the
okay.
Phone that
all right.
Yeah.
Here's what I want you to do. I don't want you to be outclassed technically by Ricky on Thursday. All right, so you've accepted his challenge. You're willing to call in at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday to go up against Ricky. I want you to sound as good as Ricky sounds on the air. And in order to do that, that way it's an even match.
Terrible.
Yes, the phone sounds terrible.
Yes, you should feel guilty about it.
You will sound better if you just download Skype.
I don't have a Skype account. It's free.
Here's what I want you to do. I want you to download Skype. Set up the account. It's free. There's really no reason not to do this. Then add username LRN.FM. You got that? LRN.FM?
Okay. Download
Skype.
And then add username LRN.FM as like a friend or a contact.
Right.
On Skype.
And then we'll
download Skype to what? To Google?
Your Android phone.
To your phone.
You go to the Play.
It's an app.
You go to the Play Store on your Android phone and download Skype and install it. And then add us as LRN.FM. Do it by tomorrow night. So when you call us on Wednesday night, because you generally call every night, then we'll see how you sound. Or if you do it tonight, I'll tell you what, Ralph. I'll tell you what. If you do it tonight, I'll let you call a second time tonight.
You know something. We constantly talk about the black and the Hispanic vote, but there was an article that I came across on. On the Wall Street Journal as of yesterday, as a matter of fact.
On the what journal?
Okay.
See, this is the problem with you being on the phone.
Wall Street Journal.
Okay. It's not like Wolf something or other.
It's for sheep.
And you know what this article is saying? The Asian American vote in this election matters. Okay, this would if it is a close election. 1,000 Asian votes.
Now, as a Filipino, do you like Asians?
Do I like what kind
Do you
of
like
a question
Asians?
is this? What kind of a question is this? I mean,
because you don't seem to like black people.
American, right?
All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go download Skype, add username LRN. Don't fail me. Don't fail me on this one, Ralph. Don't fail me, because if you go up against Ricky on the phone, it's going to be almost, Ricky's going to have a point in his favor. So you got to even out the technical odds. Go and download Skype and then call us on there. Thanks for the call tonight. All right. Look out for Thursday night. Hour 3's coming up. Free Talk Live.
For Bitcoin to be ubiquitous, people need to use it. For people to use it, they must have it. How can we get Bitcoin into more hands? Well, tipping might be a great way. What if you could include a bonus Bitcoin tip along with your regular tip to a server? What if that Bitcoin returned to you if unclaimed after 30 days? An attractive business card-sized Bitcoin tip that is easily claimed, gives instructions on wallets, spending, and returns to the user if unused? Tip.freetalklive.com. Tip.freetalklive.com.
You've said it yourself. We need a healthcare system that focuses on health, not sickness. Health insurance pays for treating sickness but gives you nothing for being healthy. There's a free market healthcare company that gives you freedom from health insurance. They give you a proactive health assessment daily, no charge 24-hour access to doctors. Check them out right now at healthexcellenceselect.com. Any kind of doctor, traditional, integrative, chiropractic, acupuncture, and massage. You'll love the service and price. healthexcellenceselect.com. healthexcellenceselect.com.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com. The 3 most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share 1 episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. You likely buy all kinds of things online. Amazon is the largest online retailer. You can get what you need at the same prices with free Super Saver shipping by going to shop.freetalklive.com. Please do your online shopping at shop.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Tuesday, September 27th, 2016. Silver is trading at $19.35 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,333 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $607. Antiwar.com reports a week after Syria's ceasefire collapsed and with fighting picking up around Aleppo, Russian government spokesman Dmitry Peskov downplayed the chances of a new ceasefire effort anytime soon, warning the situation is extremely complicated and that Russia is concerned that terror groups used the last ceasefire to regroup for new attacks. The ceasefire, which lasted for a week, included a humanitarian pause of strikes against the Nusra Front-held area around Aleppo and was meant to also give time for U.S.-backed moderates to distance themselves from Nusra forces. Instead, Peskov says the separation of the two sides never happened and that Nusra used that fact to continue strikes on military positions while using the fact that the ceasefire halted airstrikes to regroup and to replenish their arsenals along the front lines. The ceasefire was also intended to, after the first week, lead to joint U.S.-Russia operations against Nusra, which similarly never happened, and instead U.S. officials are condemning Russia for unilaterally striking Nusra targets in the absence of U.S. cooperation. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. UPI reports Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein was escorted off the premises of Hofstra University on Monday afternoon, hours before the start of the first debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Stein, who was ineligible to participate in the event because she did not meet the Commission on Presidential Debates' 15% polling threshold, boarded a shuttle bus meant for news media as it was headed to the New York venue. A reporter for USA Today spotted Stein and her press secretary and reported her presence on Twitter. Apparently, Hofstra University security and Nassau County Police saw the tweet and removed Stein and the aide because they were not credentialed media nor invited members of the audience. Stein spokeswoman Milazia Figueroa said the candidate was headed to the venue to participate in media interviews, which she was doing when law enforcement and campus security located her and told her to leave. Figueroa said Stein complied with the police orders and left the area. She also told USA Today, "We were there under legitimate pretenses." Figueroa said the campaign planned to bus in supporters to stage a protest to grant her admission into Monday night's debate, though she acknowledged it was unlikely to work. Monday's trip to Hofstra was not the first for Stein, who in 2012, again as the Green Party nominee, was arrested after entering the debate venue, also at Hofstra, and handcuffed herself to a chair in protest. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. Reuters reports nearly 60 U.S. investors who together manage more than $2 trillion in assets called on North Carolina to repeal a law they said is making it harder for companies in the state to hire top talent by limiting protections for people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender. Under the law enacted in March, North Carolina is the only U.S. state to require that transgender people use bathrooms in publicly owned buildings that correspond with the sex listed on their birth certificate. The criticism by the money managers comes as the push for civil rights for transgender people has gained momentum in the United States. After North Carolina passed its controversial law, major sports organizations, entertainers, and companies pulled events or jobs from the state in protest. In their letter, the investors said the law was undermining the stable business climate needed for sound investment. The group, led by Trillium Asset Management and New York City Comptroller Scott Stringer, said they represent a wide swath of the investor community and $2.1 trillion in total assets under management. Matthew Patsky, Chief Executive Officer of Trillium, an investment management firm with an office in Durham, North Carolina, said state lawmakers should repeal the law before the economic damage becomes irreversible. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.
Everyone in a bustling Chinese parade is attempting to elude pursuers. Newly discovered cave paintings suggest early man was battling a lot of inner demons, and a xylophonist is shredding it. This Tuesday, FBI officials disclosed details of a disturbing al-Qaeda plot to just kick back, relax, and savor the inevitable collapse of the United States. Intelligence agencies confirmed the massive coordinated plan involves terrorist cells across the globe, training specifically to take a load off and unwind as America's political infighting, class divides, moral indolence, and environmental self-destruction gradually tear the nation apart.
Our righteous warriors will devote our time to relaxing and really soaking in the infidel self-destruction. America's cities will be reduced to ruins. The economy will come to a standstill. And we, the Blessed of Islam, will kick back, put our feet up, and enjoy the show. It's going to be great.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. We're launching into the third hour of the program. Of course, you're invited to join us on the radio waves here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. 23 arrests outside of the debate last night. That, to me, is the real story, but you're not seeing it in much of the media. With you in the studio tonight, you've got Ian,
Cody,
and Johnson.
Sure, while you had two big blowhards in the debates, you had dozens of people on the outside who were protesting the debates, frustrated by the fact that their preferred candidate wasn't on the stage. Jill Stein had her supporters out there. She herself was escorted by the police off of the debate or off of the Hofstra campus property last night. We'd heard that last night, but we didn't hear about the 23 arrests that took place. And according to Nassau detective Richard LeBrun, they had arrested 23 people, charged them with disorderly conduct and obstructing governmental administration on Earl Ovington Boulevard at about 6:50 p.m. So a good couple hours before the debate.
Is there really much more to say about that than that they got arrested? I mean, I know we're going into this, but you pre-sold, you talked about this social media thing a little bit more, and I do
want to talk about the social media.
To me,
thing
this story, it's like, okay, well, we expected that there would be people that would get arrested, but is there going to be a lot more details about this? I mean, they showed up, they protested, they were arrested. I mean, that's I don't know how much.
Well, they were in the designated areas, apparently, and at one point, more than 100 Black Lives Matter protesters who had been chanting,
okay, that's a big thing.
No justice, no peace, no racist police, merged with another demonstration by several dozen peace activists and environmentalists. Hofstra professor Michael D'Innocenzo told the crowd their protests sought to, quote, raise issues we think the candidates should be addressing, but aren't. Among those, excessive military spending, aggressive foreign policy, neglected women's rights, better funding for education, police brutality, and needed immigration reform. Margaret Melkonian, a Long Island peace activist, said the group in a so-called free speech zone south of the Turnpike was there to call for a more peaceful world, while, quote, the war candidates are on the other side. Tell me what democracy looks like, chanted one leader. The crowd chanted back, this is what democracy looks like.
We've never heard that line before.
Yeah, that's a new one.
They haven't been chanting that for years and years.
Natasha Rapazzo of the Hofstra Campus Feminist Collective said the protest was not about Democrats or Republicans, but about issues. Protest ended and people left after about an hour. In a separate demonstration, a group of more than 30 Mexican immigrants, upset that Trump was coming to Hofstra near their home, came to Hempstead Turnpike to register their displeasure. They chanted in Spanish, "No te queremos," or "We don't want you." We don't like Trump, said Giovanni Garcia, a construction worker, said all he's doing is creating more hatred in this country. He thinks we're all rapists, we're all killers, murderers, and drug dealers, and we're not, Garcia said, referring to some of Trump's statements earlier in the campaign. He said, we're hardworking people. By the time the debate began, immigrant advocate Osman Canales noted there weren't many people in the free speech area as compared with earlier presidential debates held at Hofstra. He said there's a lot of security with all the street closures, and it made it harder for people to come. Apparently, there were 1,000 police officers who were spread out throughout the Hofstra campus and the nearby area. Nassau Police Department had prepared for large numbers of demonstrators, estimating as many as 10,000 could gather in the special zones before the debate, but by 7 p.m. it appeared there were far fewer protesters. With the debate underway, about 100 to 200 people were in presence there.
Desencadenada.
What's that?
Desencadenada. That's how you say triggered in Spanish.
And by the way, they brought the snipers out in addition to undercover officers in plain clothes and suits. Snipers were on the rooftops. Uniformed officers lined Hempstead Turnpike. I mean, this was a police state. One of the department spokesbureaucrats said, quote, people have the right to exercise free speech, and we'll protect that right. But by the same token, violence won't be tolerated, and trying to breach security won't be tolerated. Crumpter said officers from State Police, NYPD, and the Metropolitan Transportation Authority were on hand, as well as FBI, ATF, and Secret Service. Among the security technology was a helium balloon holding a video camera that was stationed hundreds of feet in the air above the free speech zone. They said the video was fed into the department's on-site operations center, giving police a bird's-eye view into the demonstration area. So there you go. I thought some of those details were pretty interesting.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Give you a little bit of a piece of what it was like on the ground there. Kudos to the people who were willing to get arrested to protest whatever it was they were protesting. I thought that it was more about open up the debates, but it may have just been about we just want to protest the presidential candidates. Toll-free number tonight is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. So I admit it, I spend way too much time on Facebook, and it's been a problem. It continues to be a problem.
It's an addiction.
I don't find it to be a problem at all. It's just another means of communication.
Yeah, but if you're just scrolling through a bunch of stuff, you're not really communicating.
Through websites. I'm scrolling through what people are sharing. It's like, oh, I could have my, like what I used to do before Facebook was have my news stories chosen by the community over at dig.com, or fark.com, way back before Dig. And
but did you spend as much time on either of those sites
probably,
as you do on Facebook?
Yeah,
really?
I think so. The only difference would being is that I can do more communication through Facebook because it's basically centralized all the forums that, all the BBSs that were out there before.
But it
and I know,
ruined them.
Of course, you hate that because, all the Free Talk Live BBS and, any Keen-based BBSs, those were all basically...
I miss those days. I miss the days where, the internet wasn't so centralized. You could find your little niche of people. I was on the Free Talk Live BBS. I don't know if I posted much, but I was big into forums back in the day. And you could find a web forum for just about any type of interest and really get to know people. I was on a Nintendo DS forum for a while, a PSP one. And to me, it seemed
And now
like
where are they? When's the last time you went to one of them?
I mean, they might still be there on the internet, which is unlikely, but they might. Is anybody going to be trafficking any of those? No.
You're not.
No. Because I'm stuck on this website, which I don't even really enjoy most of the time I'm using it.
It ruined forums. It didn't replace them with something better. It replaced them with something inferior. And that's one of my problems. I think that Facebook has value, and if it didn't, I would like to believe I wouldn't spend time there, because every now and then you get that needle in the haystack thing of, oh, I found this news story, and this is really interesting, and would I have found it if it weren't for me scrolling through Facebook? Maybe not. But when it comes to actually encouraging people to communicate, I think it damages communications with groups. It may make it easier for you to connect with your grandmother or, some kid that you went to school with or whatever. But as far as like assisting groups in doing things like activism, for instance, I think it's been detrimental overall.
I don't know. I feel like I've gotten to know a lot of people through Facebook and get sort of a passive, identity of people, especially once I've met a person, and then if I'm friends with them on Facebook for a year or something like that, it's like I get to know a lot more about that person through Facebook.
That's true.
And actually, I've undergone a strange challenge this past week where, I was just talking with someone and it ended up being like a thing like, oh, how many friends do you have? Like a kind of joke like, oh, you have less friends. And I'm like, yeah, but, with the communities that I'm involved with, I'm like, I could have, that many friends in like a week, so...
but not your real friends, right?
But that's a kind of a weird thing to aspire to do.
But you're getting to know people. So actually, what's interesting about this is that, so I went and I've increased my friend count by like 26% or something like that in the past like week and a half. I've added 160 some odd friends, which is, a big increase or whatever. And it's really interesting because I am already starting to get this like passive feel for some people who post a lot. And
passive. What do you mean a passive feel?
Like a passive feel, like you're getting a glimpse, like a window into someone's life and what they're interested in, what they post about. And some people post more than others. Some people, and it is interesting because it's all, it's a big jump, when you increase 25% of, that's a huge addition. And so
were these all people who just sent you requests, or did you send out a bunch of requests?
I don't normally send a lot of requests, and I started sending requests, and a lot of them are people who I've met and like kind of already know, and it's like, oh, I already share 100 mutual friends with this person, so why don't I send them requests and see what their lives are about?
We'll continue the discussion on the value and detriment of social media. 855-450-FREE.
Every once in a while, you get information that's worth changing your life for. This is one such time. You can save up to and beyond 25% on all purchases at Amazon. You probably heard of Bitcoin and just not thought much about it. You certainly know that you can get competitive pricing at Amazon, but now you can get a 25% discount on nearly everything you need to live. I've just given you a huge raise, and all you have to do is claim it. You go to saveitpurse.com and open an account. Do this right now. Don't wait. Then you fund the account with Bitcoin. You can buy them through expresscoin.com with a check or money order. There are other ways to get Bitcoin, but that's fast, safe, and easy. This information is worth you changing the way you do things. Go to saveitpurse.com right now, get signed up, and cash in on the huge raise I'm offering you. 15 to 25% off of everything at Amazon through saveitpurse.com. It's saveatpurse.com.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
Money, power, and respect are all yours at CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com. Be seen as an industry leader. You can do it. The last application you filled out when it was time to hit submit did your nerves spike. You didn't get the approval you seek, but there's a better way. We teach you exactly what to place into the right systems the right way the first time so you get approved. Get up to $100,000 in instant business credit. Many people will get cash on the spot. Use those two tools in your new corporate credit engine so you can walk into the bank and get your project funded today. It's all about today at CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com. Credit Success Secrets Revealed is explosive and ignites instant results. Dial 1-800-707-8719. That's 1-800-707-8719. 1-800-707-8719. Or just go to CreditSuccessSecretsRevealed.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
On the second Saturday of every month, the Texas Republic Congress meets in a joint session. To learn how you can attend or become a member of Congress, visit thetexasrepublic.com. And together, we can liberate Texas.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
It is Free Talk Live. You can share your thoughts with us here. Toll free, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We've got Skype, and you can join us there at Skype username, LRN.FM. Now, if you've wanted to start up your own blog or website, but just haven't done it because it's a little overwhelming, a little scary, well, you're in luck. HostGator, one of the top hosting companies out there, is offering a special deal for Free Talk Live listeners, and it just got better. I'll tell you about that in a moment. But it can be hard to host your own website. I mean, it's confusing to somebody who's never done it before. HostGator offers a simple, one-click, easy installation for WordPress. They've got 24/7 over-the-phone, live chat tech support, and very intuitive and user-friendly control panel that puts the power of creation and the simplicity of use into your hands. And you'll get it for 50% off their regular prices. Just in the very beginning of this campaign by HostGator, it was 30%, but we've managed to actually talk them into a better price. So it's, let me rescind the previous offer of 30% off and offer you 50% off their regular prices. So if you've been waiting to find the right deal, these guys have got it. It's a 99.99% uptime rating with HostGator. These guys are pros, and you get 50% off just for Free Talk Live listeners with HostGator.com/FTL. That's a special URL that you need to type in to get that deal. If you just go to their regular site, you're going to get their regular price. which I think is their regular price is like 20% off their normal price. So it's like an introductory offer, basically, where for whatever the term is that you order, you get that discount, and then after that they charge you their regular prices. So you get a 50% off price if you go through our URL, hostgator.com/FTL. We'll get back into social media here in moments. Sarah is first, though, in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You're on Free Talk Live.
Yes, I just want to mention that, in our state, anybody could vote by mail. I was told that in other states you have to have a reason, like you're handicapped and nobody could take you to the polling place, or you're going to be out of town. You have to prove that you're going to be out of town on the election date. Yeah, so over here, we just say, well, I don't like to go to I just want to vote by mail just because I want to, and everybody gets an application.
There you go. Congratulations. Sarah, thanks for the call tonight. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE as we continue here. So we were talking about social media, the ups and the downs, and Johnson, you're kind of coming to Facebook's defense. But what do you not like about Facebook? I mean, you've been saying it's great. You can connect with people. You get to know what people are interested in.
I don't like their censorship, that's for sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. No nipples allowed for females.
I don't like that they don't have a lot of ways to connect APIs to certain other developers to develop with Facebook,
which would allow people to make applications outside of Facebook that use Facebook,
load pictures in and out and data, like that kind of stuff. And it's that's not good.
I don't like that they have, I think, made communications more difficult in a lot of ways. And I gave forums as an example, and to be more specific, on a forum, you could have different subforums.
Yep.
So, in Keene, we had an activist forum, and then there were, housing or jobs or, what's happening or different things that could be in there. Now, you can't have subforums. You can only have on Facebook, you can only have a group.
Right.
And the group has a title. And in that group, you can have different threads, people talking about different things. But it organizes them all by chronology based on who's posted. So the ones that have the most recent posts are the ones on the top. If something's off topic, all you can do is remove the topic. You can't move it to another group. So with a forum, it used to be like you talked about a video game forum that you were on, Cody. If you were on a video game forum and somebody posted about Atari in the Nintendo subforum, the moderators could say, "Oh, hey, you needed to post this in the Atari area." So they would just click the move button and move it to the Atari area and take care of that.
I used to be a moderator too. It was as simple
easy process.
As that.
Yeah. That does not exist in the world of the Facebook forum. So you just end up getting this clutter or this cluster F, where if people are off topic, then they've completely wasted their time. There's no cross-pollination between the different interest groups, it just makes it more difficult.
I also don't like Facebook's social experiments and mind control on people. That also bothers me.
Yeah, like that recent thing that showed up a lot of people saw where it was asking if you registered to vote. Right at the top.
All that stuff. I mean, they definitely they want to control the narrative on Facebook, and they, do that by not showing you certain posts, showing you other things, not, controlling who they want you to be your friends.
Well, they've basically learned that they can manipulate your mood based on what you see on your timeline, which is
and this is not a conspiracy. Facebook has admitted to this. There's news articles all over the place about it. They've been very open about the fact that yes, they did do this, and they continue to do this. Mm-hmm. They experiment on you using computer-based algorithms to literally affect what you think and feel.
Well, you are the product when it comes to Facebook.
Yeah.
So the news story that is prompting this discussion is from TheGuardian.com. It just came out a few days ago. And it's about young people leaving Facebook and whether or not they're happier as a result. It says, our love of social media seems to have grown and grown in the past decade.
I'm always distrustful of these stories because there's always the motive of there's people who write these stories who they just are really rooting for Facebook to become the next MySpace. But realistically, a lot of the times these articles are not really all that accurate.
Well, we'll see what it says here. Yeah. The recent studies show the tide may be turning for some platforms. And Facebook can't stay on top forever. I mean, someday it's going to falter and something will replace it. But will that something be better than Facebook? I don't know. Right. With young people in particular ditching Facebook. One study claims that more than 11 million teenagers left Facebook between 2011 and 2014. It's been argued that they are swapping public platforms such as Twitter and Instagram for more private messaging apps like WhatsApp and Snapchat. I know when I was out on the streets this weekend for Cop Block in Keene, a young man who was very interested in what we were doing asked how he could get in touch with us, and I ended up just giving him my phone number because I didn't have Snapchat.
Right.
So he specifically asked me if I had a Snapchat. We asked the Guardians.
You should get a Snapchat.
Should I?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We asked the Guardian's younger readers whether they have quit social media and why, as well as what apps they're ditching. Almost all of them reported a greater sense of happiness after going offline. Here are some of their experiences. Daisy, who's 23, living in Manchester, England. She says, I feel less anxious and less like a failure. After romance ended with a guy I really liked, she says, I kept trying to avoid Facebook so I wouldn't have to see him. It was after this that I gradually switched off from it, but before that I'd been wanting to quit for a while. Facebook made me feel anxious, depressed, and like a failure. Now, some people have said, by the way, that seeing other people's success bothers them.
Right.
So there's certain people who will post like, I'm flying here, going on vacation, or, here's how well I've done at my job, or, here's my new beautiful lover, or whatever. And that's depressing to people.
You've got the people who are bragging because they want to feel better about themselves, and the people, getting the short end of the stick where they feel bad that they're not doing as well. But, it just seems like it's a lot of people comparing themselves to other people.
Right.
And,
That's why I'm never shy about posting things that are horrible and depressing in my life, because it's like, well, now you get to feel better about yourself. I'm making people happy.
You're helping.
I am.
Some kind of weird way, I guess so, yeah.
The toll-free
and
number.
really, it's not even all that weird when you think about it, because Facebook hates those negative posts. Post more of them.
Toll-free number tonight, 855-450-FREE. We'll get some more of their experiences here in moments. What's life like after Facebook? And you can share your experience with us, 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA pack technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon. Or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Understanding your credit score is the first step towards managing and improving it. This is Charlie Sundstrom with your Van Dyke Mortgage Minute. The most influential component of your credit score is your payment history. Almost equally as important is the amount you owe on credit accounts. Also impacting your score, but to a lesser degree, are the length of time you've utilized your credit, the number of new accounts, credit inquiries, and your various types of credit accounts. To help achieve or maintain a healthy credit score, have a system set up to assure your bills are always paid on time. Don't max out your cards. It's better to have a high credit limit with a low balance. Never close old accounts. The age of these can actually help your credit score. But don't be afraid to use your credit. You need several accounts in order to have a credit score. Just keep the corresponding payments within your means. For your mortgage pre-approval and refi needs, start by visiting VanDykeMortgage.com.
Corporate NMLS 3035. Van Dyke Mortgage is an equal housing lender. Charlie Sundstrom, NMLS 134251.
This is your Robertson Roberts Brokerage Daily Precious Metals Update. In early trading Tuesday, gold is $10 lower at $1,328 per ounce. Silver is down 24 cents at $19.26 per ounce. Bitcoin is trading at $603 US. Robertson Roberts has been helping clients buy and sell gold and silver for nearly 40 years. We can help you. Call us at 800-874-9760 or visit us online at rrbi.co.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that tenth of a calorie it takes to click on something. facebook.freetalklive.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
You can connect with the Liberty Radio Network via our Facebook page at facebook.lrn.fm. That's facebook.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves. You can bring up anything that you want. Our toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Skype username, if you want to join us there, is LRN.FM. We're talking about social media and some of the frustrations that people have had in using social media and then ultimately leaving social media and making their lives better. That's what Daisy, who's 23 years old in Manchester, is telling The Guardian. With you in the studio tonight, by the way, it is three social media users, Ian,
Cody,
and Johnson.
Daisy says that Facebook made her feel anxious, depressed, and like a failure. She says, when I went online, it seemed like everyone was in Australia or Thailand, and if they weren't traveling, they were getting engaged or landing great jobs.
Am I the only one who's thinking, like, if Facebook is making you feel like a failure, you probably are? Like, that's the first thought that goes through my head, you know, like...
She says, I felt like everyone was living the dream and I was still at home with my parents with debt for my student loan hanging over me. I also felt that if I wasn't tagging myself at restaurants or uploading photos from nights out, people would assume I wasn't living.
Do you guys have do you have this experience of like everyone's life is amazing and positive all around you on Facebook all the time?
I don't have that experience.
I don't have that experience at all.
Not really.
I feel like these are people that don't really use Facebook well because they have lots of vapid, useless friends.
Well, what she's saying here is, I think, entirely inaccurate. She says, I felt that if I wasn't tagging myself at restaurants or uploading photos from nights out, people would assume I wasn't living. Here's the thing about people.
Right.
They're not thinking about you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not posting on Facebook, it's unlikely that your friends will think, I wonder what Daisy is doing tonight. They're busy doing whatever it is that they're doing.
Every time I'm posting something, I'm like, well, maybe this post won't be completely ignored. Like, that's the, you know.
Right. I mean,
that's what I think when I post something.
If you do post something, then Facebook does allow you to become present in their life for a brief moment because they might see it.
A fraction of a second.
Right, because they might see it as they're scrolling down and they might actually pay attention to it. But believe me, your friends aren't sitting there thinking about what you're doing tonight. If they were, they'd call you up or send you a message and ask you, hey, what are you doing tonight?
And that's why the popular posts on Facebook are like the memes about kittens and sunrises. You know, because it's like, that's what's going to just make somebody feel good for 3 seconds. And it's like, that's why that stuff is popular. Because it's like, oh, I'm going to get a laugh out of this video of, you know, somebody dancing on, you know, America's Got Talent.
Let's go to Dodger. He's in Michigan. You're on Free Talk Live with Ian, Cody, and Johnson. Hey, Dodger.
Gentlemen, first off, I think that I enjoy this trio on Tuesday nights better than just about any other trio on Free Talk Live. But I just wanted to point this out. I don't understand why they call it social media, because so many people these days are so antisocial using quote-unquote social media.
Mm-hmm.
And, case in point, you see, I go out to eat probably once a week with friends and family, and I look around and I see these people, entire families of people, and they're out there eating right along with me, and they're all staring at their
the
phones.
phone.
Mom, Dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of these restaurants have made it worse now because they've added an extra screen. I don't know if you've been to like an Applebee's recently.
I hate those things. Where there's a little doodad on the table, it's got a screen on it, and you can play games on it.
You can pay money to play games on it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, me myself, I'm a young person. I'm 33 years old, and I got my my latest smartphone, and I didn't even feel the need to install Facebook on it. Now, first off, it was a surprise to me that it didn't come on it, but I don't miss it. I just really don't miss it.
So you don't even use Facebook in the browser? You don't use it on your laptop or desktop computer?
No, not really. I mean, the only feature of Facebook that I have used probably in the last somewhere between 9 and 12 months, somewhere between 9 months and a year ago. The only feature I think I've used on Facebook is a messenger, and it's only because somebody sent me a message.
Okay.
So let me ask you this: do you spend a lot of time online at all?
Actually, yeah, I spend a great deal amount of time online.
So other than porn sites, what are your top sites that you visit?
Honestly, weather and just Googling random things.
So you spend like 5 hours a day on the weather.com? What do you do?
It's probably mostly porn, right?
He said he's Googling things. There still are a lot of people who use Google.
You guys make your speculations. I have way too much time actually,
on Wikipedia.
Working. But I mean, as.
But no, you said no. Seriously though, you said you spend a lot of time online. You're not Googling and on Wikipedia all the time, or on weather.com all the time. Where do you spend your time online? I mean, if it's not Facebook and it's not a social media site, where are you spending your time?
Actually, probably 80% of my time is spent, just looking up different libertarian thinkers.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, in all honesty, I'd
Sure.
rather use the internet for information than for I don't know,
Right. I mean,
this
there's
quote
plenty
unquote
to read
social
out
media.
there.
I mean, if I want to be if I want to be social with somebody, I'm going to pick up the phone and talk to them.
Right.
I know
That's what's
maybe
changing.
I'm
How old are you, Dodger?
He said 33.
33.
33, okay. Because apparently younger people don't like to pick up the phone. That's sort of a thing among
a lot of young
millennials.
people are actually, they get anxiety about making phone calls.
What is up with that?
My sister being one of them, she's only 3 years younger than me, so she's 23 years old.
And she won't ever call you.
Terrified to make phone calls.
Perfectly happy with that.
Well, I mean, apparently I'm an oddball of my generation, and I really don't mind being that way.
Dodger, thanks for calling and sharing your experience tonight, man. I appreciate it. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. So you're saying,
Phone
Johnson,
calls suck.
forget about phone calls, so you're
It's
on
such
board
an
with
inefficient way of communicating.
texting only, huh?
I will call if it's like a long conversation, like if there's something detailed that needs to be explained.
Because you can talk faster than you can text.
You can talk a lot faster, but you can also do, speech to text or speech to text.
Yeah, but does that work?
Works pretty well for me.
90% of the time?
You have to enunciate really well, but
it's getting better. It certainly is better than it was.
Typing's getting better, but like for the most part, you don't need to communicate that way. Most people are communicating in short thoughts, and text is very good for that because you can be doing something else too.
So you don't miss the days of there was a girl you would like, and you'd call up the house phone, and her dad would pick up, and you'd have to get through the parents to get to her.
Do you realize I have a firearm?
She says, I remember a friend from uni, which I think means university, said to me once, yeah, but you're still going out having fun. I've seen on Facebook. I try to present myself as always having a great time. If my status didn't get more than 5 likes, I'd delete it. There are these people who will, they will watch their statuses and see how many likes they get, as though that validates them as a person or makes life worth living or something.
That's all it is. It's this weird addiction to these little red notifications. You know, the likes, the comments. For whatever reason, I'm telling you, it's just like a drug. You get a little dopamine boost whenever you see that little red one or whatever.
App idea. We can make a fortune.
What's that?
It makes me think of an app idea. Somebody can make a fortune. You know,
doing what?
Just make an app that goes through and automatically it sets a timer on your post, and if it doesn't get 5 likes within a certain time frame, it automatically deletes it. Well, you don't even think about it anymore. It's like.
She says, my life has changed for the better since deleting social media.
Call it the popularizer.
She says, I now enjoy catching up with my friends, and when they tell me new plans, my response isn't just, yeah, I saw on Facebook. It makes you realize who your real friends are and how social media takes the joy out of sharing news with people. I also feel less anxious and less of a failure. So she still feels like a failure and anxious,
exactly.
Just not as much.
But a little less.
She says, I'm planning to visit a friend in Australia next month. She and my mom and a couple of other friends want me to go back on Facebook to share my pictures. I'd really prefer not to, though. I'm on Instagram, but I mostly follow sarcastic quote pages, and I've never had a Twitter account.
Good to know.
So you can join us here, more young people and their experience leaving social media. But what about you and your experience? You can share your thoughts with us here in the remaining moments of Free Talk Live at 855-450-FREE.
Today, how to incorporate your business in just 10 minutes so you won't lose everything if you get sued. Step 1, stop putting it off. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business tomorrow, it's not just your business at risk. You can lose everything: your home, your car, even your life savings. Step 2, call the following number for a free 10-minute incorporation guide from Incorporate.com. 1-800-945-1063. They don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating quick and easy. So you can incorporate or form an LLC in just 10 minutes. That number again is 1-800-945-1063. Step 3, congratulate yourself. By taking just 10 minutes to incorporate your business or form an LLC, you protected your home, your car, and your life savings. And that is how you incorporate your business in just 10 minutes. But hurry while they're still giving away these 10-minute incorporation guides for free. Call 1-800-945-1063. That's 1-800-945-1063.
What would your life be like if you woke up each morning with new vitality, feeling better than you have in years, and you noticed a difference in your sleeping patterns, blood sugar levels, and had a sense of well-being overall? There's something that is changing thousands of people's lives, and you could be one of them. It's called Heart and Body Extract. Sharon Harris, co-creator of Heart and Body Extract, talks about the positive effects of Heart and Body Extract.
What happens with the formula Heart and Body Extract is it's giving the body the necessary vitamins, minerals, amino acids, enzymes, and phytonutrients so the body will heal itself. And yes, the body does have the ability to balance blood pressure, balance cholesterol, clean and unclog the arteries. It can also work on balancing the circulation for diabetics. So the body is an amazing thing. It simply needs some help so it has the tools to heal itself.
Heart and Body Extract gets results. To order your 2-month supply, call now, toll free at 866-295-5305. Order online at hbextract.com.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Teens radio show. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgoristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agorist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers, and some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agorist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any tomfoolery. So go with AgoristHosting.com. And if you want to get your foot in the door with decentralized marketplaces, Agorist Hosting is now offering Open Bazaar hosting. Go to agoristhosting.com, click on the button that says Get Hosted. Agorist Hosting, that's AGORIST hosting.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Ross Ulbricht was convicted in early 2015 of running the infamous Silk Road Underground Market. The Silk Road was a gift to humanity and helped reduce the harms brought on by drug prohibition. For this good deed, Ross has been sentenced to life in prison with no possibility of parole. Now, an appeal is Ross's only chance, and he needs your support. Please visit freeross.org, where you can contribute via various methods, including Bitcoin. Visit freeross.org. That's freeross.org.
While our satellite channel is free to listen to, it's not free for us. You can help us cover our satellite costs with the chip-in on the right side of the page at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. Join us on the radio here. Moments remain, but there's enough time for you if you want to dial in now. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. We're talking about leaving social media. Apparently, younger people, surprisingly, some of them are calling it quits. One study said as many as 11 million teenagers left Facebook between 2011 and 2014. Now, that doesn't mean they're leaving entirely from electronics. They're switching, some of them, to more private messaging apps like WhatsApp and Snapchat. But, you know, they're leaving, and it's interesting to hear their reasons for leaving and how their lives have changed after leaving. George Lincoln, who's 17 in Hampshire, England, says a lot of people aren't interested in Facebook anymore. He says, when I first got Facebook, it appealed to me because I could talk to all my friends, see how they were feeling. But now it seems to have become more trivial. Instead of seeing what friends are putting up, I just see the articles that they like and other comments I'm not interested in. I want to concentrate on more useful things, and I find it very distracting. I don't worry about missing out on stuff because I still use the Messenger app on Facebook to stay in touch with everyone. I says I've been off Facebook for 2 weeks now, and I don't really feel tempted to go back. I've thought a few times about logging back in, but I haven't so far. Since I quit, no one has really spoken to me about it. Everyone's busy focusing on their college work. A lot of young people aren't interested in Facebook anymore. It's becoming overcrowded, and other sites such as Snapchat are offering something new and exciting. Now, you said I should get Snapchat. Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I've got it. I'm just, I haven't really used it all that much.
I'm kind of over Snapchat.
I want more people on Snapchat so that I can use it. Like I don't have enough people on Snapchat.
I don't think we added each other
But
yet.
isn't the point of Snapchat to have disappearing messages?
That's one of the reasons. You can also have stories.
What's a story?
They're not disappearing. They're sort of like an ongoing series of messages.
I think they show up for about 24 hours before they're replaced.
The stories? I
think so.
No, I thought you could have like a permanent series that's like attached to you.
Maybe. I mean, I really don't use Snapchat that much.
Right.
Depending on
what's
who
it going to do that Telegram doesn't do?
We're oldsters.
What is Snapchat going to do for me that Telegram doesn't already do?
Offer a different way of communicating that's not like a chat app. That's not like a standard chat app.
But I can have Telegram delete my messages too, if I want.
It's not the same.
Okay. I mean, I have tried it at some point in the past and was like, okay, I can send pictures that disappear.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems to be good for sending naked pictures or something like that. But aside from that, I'm not really sure.
There's a lot of that going on,
evidence of drug activity or something like that, things that you want to keep out of people's hands. But, of course, there's always screen capturing, so, there's a ways around that.
Yeah,
right?
Screen capture doesn't capture video, though. But
that's true.
And I believe the other person gets notified if you do a screen cap.
Yeah, they built that into the app.
I mean, you can't stop them from doing it, but, can't keep it a secret is all.
So Syed Ali, who's 19 from Birmingham, says, I don't need to prove anything to people. There's so much negativity on social media with people complaining about how tough their lives are. And these are the same people who post a picture of every meal they eat.
One girl says everybody's lives are perfect on Facebook. The other guy's like, people are complaining too much.
That's part of the reason I haven't been using it, he says, for the past 3 years. Now, he's 19, so that means he left Facebook when he was 16.
Right.
Posting on social
What do
media
these kids know? They don't know anything.
is quite frustrating because it feels like everyone is conforming to the norms, and you have to post photos of yourself, of every place you visit, etc. Some people merely like your pictures, so you return the favor. It's childish, he says. I don't need to prove anything to people or show people I'm doing well. This has made me a much happier person.
These reasons are so ridiculous. It's like ridiculous.
The reasons to leave?
Yeah, all these reasons are because these people are neurotic.
My mom has the all-time dumbest reason why she hates Facebook, and she told me about this a couple days ago. My dad has a Facebook. My mom won't get one, but she's very snoopy into his Facebook.
She wants to know if he's talking to other women.
She texted me the other day, and she said, "What's poking? What is poking?" And I was like, well, it's this thing that people don't really do anymore to kind of like show some sort of interest in another person. And I should not have worded it that way because she was like, well, I want to know who is poking your father because I am really disappointed. I hate Facebook. And I'm like, dude, it could have been Graham, it could have been, Grammy. So poking doesn't necessarily have to mean that, like, hey, I want to bang you.
Does she sneak onto his account and monitor him, or does he like give her access to where he knows she's going in there? And
I think he must have left it up, and they share an iPad, so it was probably up. And if he doesn't log out, she's gonna take a look. Just because I don't know what's going on between those two, but
so you said they're neurotic, Johnson. Yeah. And this is, I think, an indicator of what is not uncommon, how people feel about social media, that it's some sort of, like in a lot of things in life between people, contest.
Yeah, I feel like this about a lot of things in their lives.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, haven't we, seen before, like, multitudes of articles of how posting selfies kind of make you a narcissist?
Yeah.
I believe I've seen that posted. I would agree with that.
Rosanna Cassidy, 25 of Nottingham, says, I've been thinking about quitting Facebook for a long time, but the EU referendum finally made me bite the bullet. I'm not sure which referendum that is.
Brexit, maybe?
Oh, Brexit. I was sick and tired of people trying to force their political beliefs upon me, and I found it so depressing that people were repeating views they had heard that weren't true. Now, 3 months later, without Facebook, I feel much happier and more content.
She did a Fexit.
She Facebook exited. I can live my life instead of trying to shape it into one that looks good online. I also have a lot more time now, and it's easy enough to keep in touch with my friends in other ways. What's more, now we can have conversations about what we've been doing because we haven't seen it all already on social media. I don't plan on going back to Facebook, but I still have my Instagram account, she says, which I check once a day. Instagram is different because it's not as time-consuming. You don't get bombarded with other people's views. Plus, the Instagram community is more supportive. She says, I gave up Twitter years ago because it didn't really feel...
Twitter's abysmal.
What do you mean?
Twitter's like known as like one of the worst places in the internet. Like Twitter is just, the abuse is rampant.
Is it between users?
Yeah, just people. Well, but certain users.
Can't be worse than YouTube commenters.
Horrific.
No, it can't be worse than that.
I mean,
actually, it is. No. It's known to be worse than YouTube commenters. Yeah,
wow.
Like,
well, of course, you
YouTube
can tag
is
people on
second
Facebook
to Twitter,
or on Twitter. You can tag your victim on Twitter, and then it'll let you know about it.
Well, I've found way more trolls on YouTube than I have on Twitter.
I gave up Twitter, she says, because it didn't really feel like it had a point, and it was just a space for opinionated people to air their views in a non-constructive way, she says. Andy Staunton, 23 of Dublin, says, I enjoy talking to people face-to-face. He said, when I used Facebook, I found myself aimlessly watching videos and scrolling through articles that I never had any interest in reading in the first place. Furthermore, the Facebook statuses I saw were very uninspiring. Leaving Facebook was one of the best decisions I've made this year. Aside from the increased productivity that comes from not having it, I enjoy actually talking to people face-to-face and not seeing what someone I met once years ago had for breakfast.
I had, I had an idea back at the beginning of this, and they still haven't implemented it. It's never happened. I've, posted this. Google Plus still, with its structure, the way it's structured, still is like a heartbeat away of destroying every other social media platform. Could absolutely destroy social media platforms.
But they haven't.
Because what they haven't done is this one thing that I think would just wreck everything else, which is Facebook's social media platforms are based on circles. So now they've got these communities that you can opt into. Like that's a thing. But the thing that they've never allowed you to do, which would be amazing, would be you have circles, right? These circles are, you can make a circle of friends, which is essentially like, making a category in an address book, right? Who cares? Everything has that. So you can kind of group your contacts and your friends.
Mm-hmm.
What I've always thought that a social media network could do that would be amazing is if you, instead of you categorizing all your friends, let your friends categorize themselves by you create a certain set of circles where you're going to post certain types of topics, because everybody has sort of aspects of themselves, right? Like I like comedy, I like certain politics, I like, I've got my workout posts and whatnot, right? So what if you were allowed to, again, Google Plus has this concept of circles. What if you were able to have these circles out there, but then your friends could choose to opt into only those aspects of you? So you create a circle about something, about, whatever topic that you like to talk about. And then people can go, well, I like it when Ian talks about this and this, but I don't want to hear anything about that.
So it's sort of similar to subscribing to a page in the hopes that you'll see what the page is posting. You could subscribe to an individual's different types
of stuff. But I think that would be hands down destroy. I mean, it would be instant. Like people would start to really dig that, because then you'd see what the things that you like about somebody, and then it would create this positive vibe,
and it wouldn't be a big change to their platform,
right? It wouldn't be a big change to their platform, and it would create a huge positive vibe, and it would be people getting interesting content from each other and have really positive ways to interact on content that they want to see.
Well, maybe they'll do it, or maybe somebody will do it,
been years.
And
Somebody
maybe that'll be the blow that kills Facebook.
Yep.
We can only hope. Meanwhile, I'll probably be back there shortly. So see you on the social media.
Yep.
Online between now and then, you can join us over at freetalklive.com, where we still actually have a website where you can do stuff.
#FreeTalkLive.
Yeah. And you can check out Cody over at offtheairlive.com.
Angioprim can unclog blocked arteries and improve blood flow in all parts of your body. Angioprim is oral chelation. Easy, simple, liquid oral chelation. You take it with juice before breakfast and forget about it. Angioprim works fast, unlike old-fashioned chelation that takes hours. Just log on to angioprim.com. That's Angioprim, ANGIOPRIM, angioprim.com. Angioprim users say they have more energy, more strength, more endurance. Increased circulation and blood flow will make all your body parts work better. Log on to angioprim.com to get more information on how you can get started and start feeling better, having fun, and doing more again. Lots more. Talk to a trained Angioprim consultant. Call Angioprim toll-free at 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221. Or log on for complete information. Angioprim.com. That's Angioprim.com. Find out how Angioprim can work for you. Get the facts about Angioprim at Angioprim.com.
So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook.